All right, for today's session, how about we go ahead and continue that little tradition that I have? How about someone recall what happened, what occurred last session? Anyone, please? What do you remember?
I feel like I'm always doing it. I want to pass it off to somebody else, give people a chance to shine.
Okay. Well, what I remember was we went to that dungeon. We were coming back from it, and basically having survived the zombie and skeleton encounter, we found that the three villagers died and were unreclaimable. Um, I know one of them clung on to life a little bit longer, but still died. Um, Then we explored around a little bit further. We found a magic stone that allowed Donster to use his powers within that area again, um, ultimately teleporting us home using it. And I think the last thing I remember was we went through the big doors at the bottom, having solved a puzzle, and saw a demon with a magical sword in its chest, surrounded by, I think it was dead dwarves. Um, and we pulled the sword from the chest. The demon came to life. The sword seemed to lose its magic. Yeah, that's what I remember.
All right, and then teleported back to Lenga. So
Yeah.
that's mostly correct. So a couple corrections we kind of need to do is it's actually an axe, not a sword, an axe blade. Now,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, the miners, or the scavengers, how you want to call them, the people from Lenga that went to the farmstead ruins that fell into that sinkhole into the dwarven ruins, they unfortunately all perished. There were a couple opportunities to potentially save them, but unfortunately, through your exploits and the occurrences within the ruins, they all did perish. So when you returned to Lenga, it was mostly empty-handed, and well, you did save the original individuals that was from the Goblin raiding party, but this situation right now, it's hitting the town a bit hard. It's not a big town, so when any individual does die, it is going to be a little bit felt within the town itself. And so we're going to pick up the scene where all of you have left Amari inside the alehouse, and now have kind of gone out, and it is, as the clock says, it is midday, 12:08, and you have the world in front of you. You all kind of got thrown together by the events of a very evil ritual that you all survived, solely survived, and are kind of in a place that is untamed and, well, dangerous. Now, the question is, what do you do? You arrive at civilization. You can go your separate ways. You can stick together. You can make your homes in Lenga and retire here from your very, very, very brief adventuring, or do you go out and try to pursue something else in life? Maybe try to go back home. So, it's kind of at this point where I'm going to let you all really go about, and I might have said in previous sessions, but yeah, it's up to you to pursue things that you want. I have some plots already kind of spread out that you can pursue. And to see a couple of these, everyone go to the journal section of the tabs on the top right, the open book symbol. At the bottom, you'll see a button that says quest log. And I put in some of the leads that you can pursue, up to you or not. I'm not going to have everyone have to go upon what I present. You can go and just do things that yourself that you want to do. But if you click on the quest log and then you can look at available, there's two things that I think we've discovered that we can potentially pursue. The other one is obviously just to get some money because y'all are damn poor. But other than that, you have a world to explore. With things going to occur, the world's going to move on, whether you look at it or not. And yeah, it's kind of up to you now with the snow kind of falling down up tops all of your heads. You got to think, what more
Where?
can there possibly be?
Sorry. Where is the quest log? I'm looking for it. You said it was at the bottom?
Look in the journal section.
Journal.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I'm under journal, but I don't see a quest.
Really?
I found it. It popped up on mine.
Let me take a
Searching
screenshot
journal.
photo of you.
Yeah, like when you go to the
I see Hellfrost equipment, and then I see create journal entry and search.
and then go
Yeah,
on
that-
the bottom of your screen. It doesn't say quest log.
Oh, I see it. Yes, it's way at the bottom. Okay, yep, I see it now.
Oh, okay.
Yep, at the bottom.
Yeah, so I click on it, and it looks like it's blank right now. Is that... oh, no, available. There we go.
Yep.
Ah, found it. Okay.
And if you click on those individual, they will have some information inside them. All of them should say a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I like the go monster hunting. That seems good. I was wondering if I could click that. Looks like I can't. Okay.
They're different things you can do to earn some money.
Yeah, I see that. All right.
Well, I think me and Haldia need to get ourselves healed one way or another.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
that's...
you might need to rest for a few weeks or something, right?
I need
Oh,
to
you know
take
what?
2 days
Let's actually
off.
talk about the mechanic of healing, because that's actually something that's very, very different from D&D. So, in Savage Worlds, when you start taking wounds, you have essentially what's called the golden hour to get healing. Now, if you are not healed, the wound you received, if it's not removed within the hour of receiving it, you have to revert to natural healing. Essentially, you have to remove a wound once per week. They don't recover at the end of a day like they do in D&D or stuff like that. Once you have gone past the hour of receiving that wound, you revert to natural healing. But there are ways to get around it. Obviously, well, not obviously, but magic is one that can go around that. Magical healing can heal anything, anytime. So if you find a healer that can bless you clerical-wise or divine-wise, they can remove the wounds. But if you're relying on natural healing, the skill, you gotta wait an entire week. So keep that in mind. And it has been past an hour. So right now, all of your wounds has to be healed magically.
Haldia, where are you with your ability to use magic currently?
I think I still have like a day and a half or something like that.
Yeah, so there's actually a calendar. I don't think I actually made it available for the players, but if you do look on the left-hand side of the screen, there is under the player section a calendar symbol, and it's a simple calendar. And now I have it set for myself, but essentially on the 9th of the month is when Haldo gets powers back. And it's the 7th right now.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
Yeah, we're not quite so poor that we can afford like a few weeks rest in town, right? I'm pretty sure.
If you don't wait that long, you absolutely could.
Yeah, I think assuming that's not going to be a huge
Issue for us in terms of our money, I think doing that might be a good time, and we can use that time to track down some rumors about like some monsters that might be worth hunting and things like that.
Treasure to
Talk
be
to
found.
people traveling through, yeah, that kind of thing. Just collect rumors, and we'll act on them when everyone's ready to go out and do their thing.
Well, I think that's a fairly smart thing. Haldia can regain his magic. Me and him can both heal. You guys can lounge about for a couple of weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure. So because when we first came back, Paul,
Yes.
and I went to the herbalist to get healing stuff. All that happened. It was over an hour for all that for me to try and use it.
We did teleport back here, so actually no. I don't think about that. So you do have a bit of time to actually recover from that.
Okay. Because I bought it just so I could
Yeah.
use this.
Alright, All right, so we'll do it. We're gonna go ahead and do that right now.
+1 bonus secure. So, but I don't even have the healing skill, so
I'll be untrained.
None of us do.
Yeah.
That was a problem.
That was one of the problems.
Can
The
we-
group has no healer.
But we can pay somebody. There's got to be somebody in town who's got healing at like a D8 or something. We could probably pay for their services,
Give
right?
me 1 second. I didn't realize you all started typing some of your goals. So give me 1 second to actually put this in.
I mean, I'd imagine the herbalist must at least have some level of knowledge as to what they're selling. Or I'd hope they would at least. Here's some random grass I found on the floor. Eat it. Will make you feel stronger.
My parents were in an MLM that did that for a bit. They were selling these pills that were supposed to be some kind of special activated algae, but when somebody
Right.
actually tested them, it was literally lawn clippings.
Oh, Jesus.
The name of the company was a long time ago, but it was very funny.
Eee, that's good.
Shackley, that was the name of the company.
I'll make sure I stay away from them then.
I would hope they're not still in business, but one never knows.
No, they're not still in business.
Oh,
They went
good,
under.
good. But, surely there must be somebody that this town goes to when they have, like, a wound that, needs basic treatment and things like that.
All right, real quick, if you now go back into the quest log and go to in progress, you will see your short-term and 1 long-term goal. I'm not sure if how yours is long or short-term for the killing of a dragon.
I think that might be long term.
Okay.
I will have a think about.
Yeah, you don't have to rush it. You don't need to do it right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I know in my super short term, because I wouldn't know that my powers are gone for 2 days, but super short term, get my powers back.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, once you solve a short-term goal, you can't redo that ever again in the game. So keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna think of a better one than that.
No, that's obviously a short-term goal of getting powers back because it makes sense. You lost you didn't have powers.
When you say you can't do that again, does that mean like we'll not get the rewards for doing it, or we just can't do that?
You
Actually,
can't even choose it again. You already
Right,
you already accomplished it. So
Right. Just checking that it's not like some weird gatekeeping of you can't go and kill a monster anymore.
oh no. Like
That's literally my job description.
Like, you can literally just put down, I want to kill an orc. Okay. You can never put down, I want to kill 2 orcs. I want to kill 3 orcs. I want to kill 4 orcs. No, you can't do. No more orcs you can kill. So,
I'm gonna stab.
You won't get the
the
reward for that no more.
In the left eye.
yeah. Don't cheese it, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I think
Conviction's pretty powerful, so.
I think my short term goal would be to figure out the axe,
Okay.
because I'd be like super interested in it.
So change that from the regaining powers.
Yeah, go with the axe instead of the short term, instead of the powers,
Got it. Done.
because although trying to get my powers back, since me in my head I know when they're coming back, it kind of ruins it for me. So the axe would be better for me as the player.
Sounds good.
Interesting
learn your
direction
magic
to go,
through, like,
being a axe wielding druid.
Right? Even
Yeah.
though I'm pretty sure I can't wield it.
Well, this isn't D&D, druids.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just, and it's, that depiction of a druid, and then just adding an axe to it. That's just very different direction.
I mean,
I don't even-
you're still fighting in small areas. There's not much room in woods.
I don't like. I'm pretty sure I can't wield it 'cause I'm not strong enough. Even though I'm not sure because Paul did say it felt very light in my hands.
Well, Paul mentioned it was a D10 strength to wield it effectively. I don't know if any of us have that much strength, do we? I think Atlas
do.
might have.
Well, it's a battle
You
axe,
do,
right?
really? Oh, good. hmm
Yeah. Well, battle axe is a D8.
Okay, battle axe is a D. I was thinking it was a great axe.
No.
Okay.
It was a battle axe.
Cool.
Okay, so it's still heavy in my hands. Because Paul, you did say, what is the? So there's a group of people that are like the treasure hunters. for
Yes,
these-
that is the Reliquary. So the Reliquary, this is an organization that pursues and hunts down anything that is magical in the world. Because they believe that anything that is an artifact or relics are truly magical items, they are undeserving to mortals because they will abuse it and going to be corrupted by power. So the Reliquary actively pursues and tracks down and finds, sometimes, or a lot of times, with just false leads that lead nowhere, but on occasion they'll find things that they will take to their stronghold called the Citadel, and they store all the items there. Now, one of the benefits of being in the Reliquary is because you are working for them, they tend to be okay with you actually using magical items if you work for the organization because you're actively pursuing their goal. That's one way some people tend to try to get around that. But if Reliquary finds out you have this axe, they will pursue you, and they will go to really any means. They'll obviously go civilized at first, but if they need to, they believe it is beyond what you deserve, which is pretty much no one deserves kind of items, they will resort to violence if necessary.
Yeah, so I was definitely thinking we should probably like try and join up with them in a way, so that way.
That's also a way to become treasure hunters.
Yeah.
But trying to find things about the axe that isn't involved with the Reliquary, there are a couple of things you can do. Find an actual library. Or find someone that is knowledgeable in that area of expertise, maybe a very, very old blacksmith or a dwarven blacksmith. Or find some old dwarves that might know about the history of this world. And as there is a dwarven stronghold in the Battlelands, in the Borderlands. There is a dwarven stronghold. A current dwarven stronghold.
We do have a dwarven blacksmith, don't we?
You do.
Right. So me and Bruce, when we're licking our wounds, we're gonna have a conversation about this axe.
Right. I'm going to assume you're looking for a common knowledge roll before this axe.
No, you ain't getting this roll.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm not gonna let you roll this roll. The fact that it was in an ancient dwarven stronghold, you're not gonna know about this thing.
Ah, excellent. Just what we like.
You go through all your knowledgeable means, you pick your brain, and nothing comes forward of what this might be. Just that it is magical, and it is fire-based, which is, again, rare because, as we know, the god of fire and the sun have, poof, vanished.
I have one idea about what it might be, and it's a little bit of a stab in the dark. It might be an axe.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, because I can't really wield axes very well. So I feel like this would be of better use to somebody a little bit stronger. Do we have anybody?
I'm D10 strength.
Well, sir, I feel like this would work good for you.
You give me just a moment, and then we'll discuss.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would quite come under a short-term goal, but I'm posting it.
Nice.
Right. What's happening with Zax then?
Like a midterm goal.
Okay. Well,
So I will
I'll
say
leave
this:
that.
that would actually would be a stronghold. So the minimum size of stronghold is 500 gold.
Right. Or even a like a cart with a anvil in it.
So I was thinking you could just when we get a stronghold, we could set up like trade lines, and we'd have
Oh, yeah.
like so that way you could go about it that way.
Oh yeah. I
Mainly.
mean, if you look at my long term goal, I do have setting up some form of stronghold for us as a thing, but I figured that would be going to be a bit of a more of a long term thing.
Okay, it is inside the quest log.
Okey-doke. Right.
I mean, we could probably go back into that dwarven
Yeah.
ground and clear it all out, and then just take it over.
Well, there was that. So we peered down the chimney of a dwarven smithy at one point. We didn't manage to go back to it because teleportation.
Right, but we thought there was good loot in there, as I recall, right?
Well, we thought there might be a possibility of it. Certainly
think
things that could
yeah.
be very useful in setting up a blacksmithing shop. Um,
It collapsed though, didn't it? I'm not sure.
no, I don't remember that one being collapsed. That was
It was the other one we got to later.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the one we actually went into that collapsed. This one was kind of just peering down the chimney of it and yelling down it to see if anyone's in it. If I remember right.
Yep, that was the one you yelled down and got no reply. But it was the chimney essentially of a forge.
Oh
Okay.
shit! Might have to get some rope.
So is that the plan then, to get ourselves healed up one way or another, and then possibly go and climb down a chimney?
Sure,
Go
that's not a bad plan.
Go Santa Claus on this.
Right.
Now, if you are wanting to stay here, it's
I
going to
do have a
be
spider climb.
per person 2 silver a day.
How much is?
Or for 5 days,
So,
1 gold per person.
Okay,
So
right.
we have just the plain currency.
Oh, yeah, we didn't split it up. All right, so we'll say to make it easy, the currency is in gold, so let's go with gold. So 5 days is 1 gold.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
Well, I
one.
have 138, so should be fine.
We did have that one really nice sword we were going to sell, right?
Yes, I still have. I still
Hmm.
have said sword.
Yeah.
I also have a axe broken. It's basically just a stick, which I'm sure will come in handy. I'm gonna grab. I think I'm gonna become a hoarder. Basically, I think this is where we're heading.
I think you've been there. I think.
Like,
Bruce, do me a favor, roll me a d20.
roll a d20.
Yeah.
Why is this?
Don't
Why
worry
do I
about it.
feel like this is stew? Why do I feel like this is stew related?
All right, continue.
Okay. I'm not gonna think about that. Right. Where were we?
We were talking about what to do next, and I believe was to potentially investigate the dwarven shaft.
Yes, I think that was kind of after. Well, I've got an ancient dwarven longsword and a ancient dwarven chainmail to potentially sell on.
That you could.
Does anybody else? Well, I suppose. Does anybody want a nice old longsword?
Not me.
Now, go ahead and give me, Bruce, a repair roll or a common knowledge roll. This is more of an identification of the qualities of the sword, the ancient sword.
assume no modifiers, yes?
No, no modifiers. It's just your general skill.
Yep. Fantastic.
All right, you just have failed.
Clearly somebody must have cut just above
Well,
my eye.
You can try to get it after you heal your wounds. So how about we try to heal the wounds right now?
Blood's running into my eye. I can't tell what it is.
Now we can try the healing roll. It's going to be a unskilled, since none of you have the skill at the moment. So, does anyone want to try it though? You just got to get a raise. And remember, even though you have a D4 minus 2, you still have a D6.
What's your vigor, Howdy?
I think it's a D6. Yeah.
Okay, let's focus on healing you.
Okay, I also have this. I have a healing bag and that healing bomb, so it gives us a +1.
So the healing bag is necessary to not have minus 2 to the roll in the first place. Just to heal, you have to have that. The healing bomb will give you the +1 to the roll.
It would be like an untraded roll -1.
Yes. Instead of minus 2.
Could I use survival to support the roll?
I will
like
allow
I did
that.
the
Yes,
other time?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and roll
Tell me
that.
how are you using survival to help out? What are you doing?
Well, what is the nature of his wound exactly? Like, are we talking about like his arm is a little cut up or something like that, like a broken bone?
I failed an athletics roll when we were running in, and I smashed into a rock. So
And the pillar did fall on him. I think caused part of it also, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So let's assume that there's some bone bruising, maybe a very minor fracture on the arm then, right? So as far as survival goes, I can splint that up real good, and that will aid in the process of healing over time, something like that.
Yeah, we can go with that. So go ahead and give me a survival roll there, Vanya.
Sure.
And I feel like somebody other than the hurt people should do the
Well, did quite well.
healing roll.
3 raises.
All right, so it's a +2. Most you can do as a helping is +2. So yeah, now get +2 to the roll for the healing. Anyway, what you're trying to say, Mike? I know I interrupted you.
I feel like somebody other than the 2 really injured guys should do the healing. So I'm just gonna look at Donsta and just hand him the bomb and be like, "Hey man, can you apply this?"
That seems fair. Someone who's not taking penalties from wounds.
Yeah.
I can definitely try.
You got a +2, so
+3 because of the bomb.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, +3. So all together to +1 roll if you're untrained.
And what am I rolling?
If you don't have the healing skill, unskilled or untrained.
It should be at the bottom of your skill list.
Yeah.
Untrained and it's +3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's automatically going to put in the -2.
So it should work.
Unless he rolls really bad.
Well, if he rolls a
Yeah,
1,
we got
it's still a
minis.
4.
If it rolls a critical fail, we'll make it worse. Okay, it's not a critical fail. That's good.
It's
That's
a success. So it is 1 wound, or if Donsta wants to, you can use a Benny to potentially try to get a raise to heal both wounds, but it's up to Donsta if he wants to burn a Benny for that.
I think I'm trying not to tap my luck here.
Okay. All right, well, that's 1 wound. But it does use up the healing herb, though.
Yeah. Getting rid of it right now.
Well, it does remove 1 wound.
There you go, Howdy.
Sweet. Yeah, that was not a good adventure for me.
Yeah, because you got essentially 3 injuries, but you got yourself healed at one point.
4. I had
4,
4
was
wounds
it?
through that whole thing. Lost my powers.
Oh god.
It was a good time.
Yeah,
Like, never had to do a bigger roll
land
to
on you.
not die.
Actually, yeah, there you go, Howdy. That's short term.
Oh, Paul, how do I add, I guess, arrows or anything? Because I do have a longbow.
Open up the item, edit the item, and under the shots, put down a quiver or a bolt case holds 20. So put down 20 out of 20.
Under the notes.
No, under the ammo. If you open up if you edit the actual entry for the weapon, there's a place for shots. It's a little box symbol to edit with a little like pencil inside it.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. All right.
Yeah. You have shots out of shots, and how to probably do the same thing. You're back at a place. So as you're healing up here, you see the herbalist. They actually bought the herbs from Haldir. They just come walking over. You're healing yourself in the middle of the snow. What is wrong with you? I just do it in a better place than having dirt to get in your wounds. Come here, come here. And she kind of grabs your arm, and then she looks at Brewsome. And you, fellow dwarf. Get yourselves banged up. Come with me. And I suggest you get some of your coins out. This isn't going to be cheap.
Oh, good.
And she pulls you two back to her shop. She opens the door, and she enters in it, pulling both of you by the arms. And you see her shop right now. It's a wooden building, and you can immediately smell all the herbs, the aroma of the various types of chemicals and concoctions, and just, well, it's kind of a mix of being unpleasant, a little bit fatigued, a little bit nauseous. It's all kind of overwhelming to the senses. And she goes behind the counter, pulls out a pedestal, and starts to mix some herbs, pulls out 3 vials, and sets it on the desk. Your wounds are a bit old, but I think I can take care of some of those. But to do these, I can't really give you a bit of a discount. How about 4 gold each? 8 gold, and I'll do the best I can.
Okay, 4.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I can do 4 gold.
I'll just erase that off my sheet then. Rob.
Are you paying for it, Vanya?
Well, it's 4 gold from each of us, right? So I thought.
Well, no,
we'd each
to
be
heal.
taking-
No, to the ones that are being healed.
Yeah, it's just me.
Oh,
in person.
Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood. Okay, I thought it was 4 gold from each of us for
No,
the
they're
price
supposed
of
to be healed.
healing. Okay. All right, I gotcha.
I'll need to buy some herbs, but give me a little bit of time to practice. And she starts to mix things together. Now, this is not an automatic success. This is going to be an actual roll that she is going to do, and she's got a ball cart, so she's going to do a D10 to try and heal. So she looks at you first, Haldir. She starts mixing this tonic together, and then asks you to drink as she tends to your wounds.
I will drink.
All right, that is 2 raises, or that's 1 raise. Also, she starts bandaging together, seeing the splint that Vanya did put on your body initially, and goes, okay, this is good, and she starts to work on it. And then eventually, yeah, she removes all of your wounds, and you might have a couple, but they're essentially gone for all intents and purposes mechanic-wise, as she does tend to, and the concoction, bitter. And then she goes to the other vial, starts mixing the herbs together, pours it into the vial. It's a black, murky liquid with a bunch of these leaves and particles inside, and she hands it to you, Brewsome. All right, you two, Mr. Dwarf. Go and drink this right now. And she starts to look at your wounds, Brewsome.
It's funny. It's like home.
You've got a weird sense of home, then.
Living underground, you lose most of your senses.
I wouldn't really know about that. Now, I'll let you use a Benny if you want to have them reroll. It's up to you.
Yeah. I need healing. So you want me to Benny that?
Yeah. And she'll reroll hers.
Blended. Even best.
Alright, we'll stick with the 4, so it's only 1 wound, or you can keep on going, it's up to you.
No, I'll stick with the 4. Apparently my luck isn't in my favour today.
Alright.
And we can just wait a week or 2, depending on your rolls, right? No big deal.
Till I get my powers back.
Yeah. It's not like that that dwarven stronghold is going anywhere.
Oh, you never know. There was a worm
It's been
next
there
to it.
since. It's been there since before the ice came. I mean,
The worm.
But there is a worm next to it.
well, I mean, next to is relative. This one was pretty far from where we found the worm, right?
Yeah, it was fairly far. It wasn't, it wasn't miles and miles away. Judging by the size of that worm.
As the worm crawls, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so we're staying here for a couple days then, or a couple weeks possibly.
Well, we'll start with a couple days.
Yeah.
All right,
Like,
so
hours back.
go ahead and pay for. We'll do the 5 days. We'll go with 5-day increments. So go ahead and pay each of you 1 gold
Okay.
for the 5-day stay inside the tavern house, and well, go ahead and tell me what you kind of are doing in those 5 days. As you kind of are recuperating, relaxing here, what's kind of the discussions that might be going on amongst each other, or with other townsfolk? What's going on? We'll go from bottom to top. Brewsome, in the 5 days, as you're kind of recuperating, so you're actually probably in bed, for all intents and purposes. Although I'll let you do this, you can participate in the activities that might be occurring right now. What their downtime looks like. But whatever you do, depending on what you do, I might give you a penalty to your vigor roll to heal. So keep that in mind. Or do you want a bed rest entire time, or do you actually want to do something else?
I feel like I'm too stubborn to be stuck in bed, so I think I will, mull about the town. I think, seeing how the herbalist just mentioned something about a robbery in a house, shop, I would like to talk to her about that.
So you come in one day, and she looks up at you and goes, I imagine by this time names have been exchanged? Or do you want to keep your names hidden?
Yeah, I'd imagine probably exchange names. She did, serve me a drink and heal me a bit.
Okay, so Brewsome, I told you to stay inside and lay in bed, you stubborn oaf. Walking around is just going to make your wounds that harder to heal. What do you want? She looks a little annoyed. If anyone else wants to be here, let me know.
I'll let people answer first.
Alright, just you.
It's just me. Yeah, I fancy coming in, seeing the lady who healed me, seeing how you're getting on.
Well, as best can be. I mean, with the weather becoming colder and colder, the damn nights being longer, and then these damn earthquakes that have been occurring, that I've been hearing rumors that there's a big worm in the ground. Eartha forbid it actually comes out of the ground and it develops the town. So, not as good, but Lenga's been my home for my entire life, and just thinking about leaving is it's not coming lightly to me. But as every day occurs, the warmer temperatures does seem to be better and better in my mind. And then comes the damn theft of some of my stock a couple days ago. That's just irritating.
Jeez, what'd they take?
Not even the rare herbs. They took some of the uncommon ones, but they knew specifically where to look. They went through some places. Almost, you and your sort were one of the few individuals that came to town. Lenga's out of place compared to everywhere, and so I'm fairly certain who took some of my stock is someone from the town. I just don't know who. And I have a theory, a small theory, but I can't prove it, and I can't very well go investigating because that's not something I can do. I decided to be a herbologist from my mother, and now adventuring was a bit of her take. She earned the money to start the shop here in Lenga before she passed into Eartha's embrace. But that's not my calling, and going around trying to do a bit of investigation, I think, is beyond my means.
Have you spoken to the guards about it?
I have. They said they'll look into it, but they're They're bored. They're content. They're not going to do anything.
Perhaps we could have a look into it for you. As a repayment, a thank you.
Well, if we recover the herbs, I think I can hand off about 200 gold crowns. It's about a little bit less than what they took.
Yeah?
Price isn't
Be
really
more
the
than
means
happy.
of the matter. It's more of just the inconvenience of having to go out into the snow, getting more herbs.
Oh, I'd be happy to have a look around and talk to people for you. See what I can unearth.
Well, Brewsome, I would definitely be appreciative. Um, well, if you wanted to get a bit of a head start, I do know that this champ, he's a actual Taiga elf here in town, and he had a bit of an aggressive shopping experience, I would say. The day before, I lost some of my stock. Really disgruntled for some other reason. I really don't know why, but he's the only one I can really think that might have actually possibly done this. But again, I can't prove it.
Right. I'll start there.
Well, Eartha bless you, Brewsome. Thank you.
Eartha bless you too.
All right, Haldir, what's your kind of thing going about in town?
So I was looking at this healing power, and I don't think I could heal Bruceum. Because I could only heal wounds less than an hour old.
Oh, no. Healing power can heal past the golden hour.
Okay.
It takes a lot of power points, though, right?
Yeah, I think it... Because I could do crippling injury, but I need a plus 20 on top of the roll. And that's for permanent...
Oh, no. That's
crippling.
different. It's greater healing. Well, in my version, it costs an extra 10 power points. It might be different in health. But
It's a -5 to the roll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 10, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we don't use power points here. So we forgot.
Oh, they changed the rule for that. All right. So yeah, the greater
Yes.
healing would be at -5, which means you have to channel, so it would be a -3.
Yeah. Okay. But first thing I would want to do is whenever there's like any time I'd go up to Bruceum and I'd be like, I could try and heal you, but I would also like you to look at this, and I'll show him my bow that got damaged and be like, we could try and help fix each other.
I'd love to have a go at it. It's not really my area. I typically worked with metal, but I would love to. I'd love a challenge with your bow.
Now, I will say with the greater healing, you can't combine that with the herbs.
I don't have any more herbs, but I have my healing.
Well, if you buy some, you could.
bag.
Now, as a novice character, you can channel for -2 penalty to removal. So -5 base, you can reduce it down to a minus. I think it's actually -6. You do it to a -3 or -4.
-4.
Yeah, because the base power point for healing is 3, so it's actually minus. No, it's actually -7. That is tough.
This says it's a because on here it says it's a plus 10 to the roll. So
By base rules of Savage Worlds, it's actually 10 power points. But since we're doing the non-power point version, the base healing power is actually a -2. Then the greater healing, so altogether it is 13 divided by half, rounded up. So it is actually -7 to actually
okay.
heal past that.
I was like, there's like a 0% shot at this, but
You need a massive. You can try as many times as you want, but remember, if you hit that one again, you're gonna trigger the siphoning.
yeah, I'll try it once.
There's nothing we can do to support, right?
Ritualistic magic.
Like, can I help spread the salt or whatever? Add my voice in chanting, however that might work.
You tell me how, and I will give you a yes or no. But I'm going to say, based on being magic, it's going to be a very, very hard approval.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I mean, go on.
so for my healing, I pretty much I put my hand on you and I say a prayer, kind of deal. So I could like tell you the prayer, and then you could like help chant with me to like
Yeah, sure.
strengthen the bond, maybe.
Yeah, so it'll be your actual. I was thinking about it like a ritual. So that's going to be your actual arcane skill. If you don't have it, it'll be unskilled. It's just tough to help him out.
Okay.
Which means Dansa might have a good chance as well as Brewsome.
But I can still roll it untrained.
Yes.
And as long as I don't crit fail, I won't actually hurt. So yeah, why not? Give it a shot.
Oh, the Brewsome's being healed himself. And how do you uncheck the hindrances for the all thumbs?
Isn't it? Okay. There you go.
There's one thing in it. Well, yeah. It's not a crit fail, so hey.
Dustin, would you want to help out at all? Did you have a bit of the arcane arts?
Well, I don't actually have the arcane skill. So I use
We have
elementalism.
elementalism. You have magical abilities.
Okay. I mean, I can. Is there any penalties or anything I need?
No. But again, you are doing a bit of magic, so if you do roll 1, it is going to trigger the siphoning, so keep that in mind also.
It makes me think twice.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, it might not be worth the risk.
It's only a dwarf, don't worry. We are
Well,
hard.
I have a D10, so I don't know. It seems like unlikely that I'll hit a 1, but
You can re-roll that. You can Benny it. You just can't Benny a crit failure. That's all. If it does pop up with a 1 on the skill die.
yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky enough.
We're in town, so if I get a siphoning, we're still in
what's the
town. We're
worst
not
that
in
could
hiding
happen?
anything.
And we're definitely doing this in like a room, not like out in
Yeah,
the open.
yeah. I imagine you're doing it in your room.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do it. Let's see here.
All right, that's a +1.
There you go.
I'm at a +3.
So let's see.
Or
The base is a
-3.
-7. You can reduce that to a -5. +1 to -4 now. You can get a healing tonic or the herb boss to make it down to -3 for the 45 gold.
Oh yeah, I don't got that. -4.
Would I be able to assist in my own healing?
You can, but you're gonna have your penalty for being hurt. So you can.
Okay. Try that. There it is.
Oh,
Still a success.
no, it is.
All right, so that's now a -3. If someone wants to spend the 45 gold to get the healing tonic, it'll be a -2.
Nah. I think we're just gonna roll
Go for
and
it.
have minis just in case. Oh. Oh wait.
You could Benny it if you
Yeah,
want to.
it's still Bennyable.
Well, I'm trying to figure out because it has me -3 or -5.
Excuse me.
Altogether, the roll is -3, so you rolled a 3. It's a 0. Or -4, sorry, I should say.
Oh. Yeah, I stuck.
Remember, you don't have to use a Benny, because you just keep on casting it.
Oh. Okay, then never mind that. Benny rolled in.
The thing that could potentially happen is you actually trigger the siphoning. That's the problem.
Yeah. So
Get a Benny
we'll
back.
try. We'll try one more time.
Stop using Bennies! Or did I do that to you?
I didn't click on the Benny.
That was
That's
me.
weird.
That was me. I did it to you
Oh.
on accident. There we go.
Hey. So that should be a 4.
Okay. So Haldir, Brewsome. After you have Haldir doing the enchantment, doing the healing spell, with Vanya trying to help out, as well as your own ability, and then even with Donsta, eventually, after a chant, doing a bit of a ritual, the energy courses through you, and your last of your wounds, Brewsome, does heal, and you are now good.
Fantastic.
Feels so good to have these back. And
Just 5
then,
days.
yeah, I don't know if he would needed what kind of role he would do for my bow.
I
Fix it.
I have a repair, which I can do.
Yeah, repair skill.
Repair skill. Do you want to
Easy
take any
fix.
disadvantage?
Easy fix, no penalty.
And I do like a. Oh,
Oh,
never mind.
No, it's repaired.
It works.
it's repaired anyway.
Your bow's
It's not-
good.
It's not mystical. Could Benny get some raises in there, you know?
A raise wouldn't really do a thing here. Dasta, during the 5 days, what were you possibly doing?
Mostly meditating.
All right.
Probably was in the tavern next to the fireplace if they have one, or a hearth, and just meditating.
Okay. So, what you kind of experience in the midst of your meditating is that you probably overheard, either indirectly or directly, a bit of the small rumors that might be going through town. And that being, no one knows why these earthquakes are occurring, and only recently. The earthquakes only have occurred within the last, I would say, month. And the rumor of the worm that's nearby has actually got a bit of people scared in town, to the point where people are thinking, should we leave? Should we go to Godwood Village? Should we try to pack up and move? Maybe this is Earth's sign. It's an Earth. Maybe we need to leave. Maybe she is displeased with us. And so the big talk is really this worm. Vanya, what about you? What about you been doing?
Well, actually, that probably ties in with what you were just talking about, because Vanya is looking for monsters that need killing. And if this worm is, something that falls within her remit, then she's probably trying to research and see if anybody knows any particular way to deal with this kind of creature, because right now it just doesn't seem like something you can actually fight. It seems more like trying to go out and fight a tornado or something.
It is a thing of nature, kind of, at this point.
Yeah.
To go around trying to figure out some more things, go ahead and give me a persuasion roll. You start to maybe talk to people around town and get an idea of what might happen.
Sure. Let me put that card up and move the roll. And that's a critical fail.
So, as you were going around, you're talking to one of the guards, possibly, and let's see. None of this shit happened until just before you and your group showed up.
Vanya has a hard time responding to that because she realizes that, yeah, this is going to be a problem. But she points out, no, they were trapped. They were already trapped when we showed up.
No. These earthquakes. Lenga doesn't get people that comes by. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. No one comes to Lenga for the souvenirs when we have any, or to see the sights. We're in the middle of nowhere, and then your group showed up. I think that there's some ploy to get us out of this place. Everyone knows that the Borderlands is free of any ruler. And this is a prime spot for some people. And it just happenstance you save some of the villagers to get a audience. A little bit of a guarantee to the town, have some people like you. I see through the bullshit. I think that you and your group is up to no good.
Well, here's the thing. If you think that, don't you think we would have been a little more effective in our efforts to save the people then?
Or you're just
Because
shite
if
at
I
your
was
job.
trying to set that up. Yeah, whatever, buddy.
Get the
Look,
fuck out
you're
of
a
here.
guard. Yeah, fuck you too. You're a guard on a hearth night, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. He spits on the ground.
Yeah.
You found the one
Enjoy your
conspiracy.
water.
You found the one conspiracy theorist inside the town.
Yeah, I know. There's always gonna be a few.
All right, but after the 5-day stay, all wounds are healed. Magic is back. What's the plan of action, everyone?
Well, let's head to that hole. No?
Well, I kind of have that ongoing thing with the herbalist. By the way, what's her name?
Her name is Anselmi. I'll throw this out.
I was gonna say,
Anselmi, the healer. Yeah, the herbalist.
okay. And she suggested, basically, I'm thinking of going down that because that shouldn't take too long, maybe. Just quick check around the town, see what people were thinking.
Vanya says, clearly I'm not qualified to talk to anyone around here.
All right, so she did tell you about this champ. You can approach this person directly, or you can do kind of what Vanya did, but she failed. And tried to maybe find some rumor about this specifically by doing either coercion by essentially intimidating people, or persuasion to kind of get some talking people to maybe figure out what might be going on. It's up to you. You have 3 routes to approach this with. Approach the individual directly, or do coercion, or persuasion trying to figure out some information. Or something else you might think of that I didn't think of. What do you got?
I think I'll do persuasion and just kind of pick up on the chatter around town, see what's going on.
Okay. Well, as unfortunately that Vanya did cause a bit of a issue, we're going to say that this guard was able to kind of talk a bit of the town and get some suspicion rallied against all of you. So I'm going to have this roll be done at -1. Persuasion.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that is a raise.
Take that and your -1.
I helped.
You overheard some of the miners in this town one day talking. Yeah, that woman, can't pronounce her damn name, Anselmi, she charges way too damn much for her prices. The herbs, we can get the damn herbs ourselves. We offer to get the herbs ourselves and just cut the cost, but no, it's her herbs we gotta use. And this is a bunch of bullshit. She should know what it feels like to not have herbs in her own damn town. What would she feel like if she had no herbs? As well as other rumors of people wanting to start a fighting ring. If we're able to get more wealth into this town by having a gladiatorial pit. But we need to make sure that it's gruesome and we kill everyone that comes by, so take all of her herbs that heals. As well as a young kid. I just want to heal my puppy. He's so hurt. I can't pay her for what she wants to heal my puppy. I'll just take it myself.
I would like to approach the kid and suggest an alternative. I think I'll return back to Haldir, let him know of what I've heard, and ask if he would feel able to heal a puppy in exchange for a kid not committing a crime.
Of course. I'll go over.
In that case, I would like to drag Haldir over to the kid and suggest an alternative.
That's going to be over here on the map everyone can bring themselves to. Who is wanting to approach this, go ahead and bring themselves.
So where this is happening over there? Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to be laughing if you lose your powers again just trying to heal a puppy.
Well, it'll be worth it.
You're gonna
Especially-
lose your powers.
Especially with everything going on in my personal life right now, this is definitely happening.
I hear that.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry, Mike. Let's not do this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys don't know, but like in real life, my dog passed away like 2 weeks ago, and then our other dog isn't doing very well. But so
That's
this
awful,
is
mate.
definitely happening.
Well, to add to this, my dog is currently refusing to eat and drink.
Yeah, that's one of our dogs is doing that right now.
So let's heal this dog.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
Yes, my 3 dogs are all fine, but let's take care of this puppy.
So you go to where the dog is sick
Yeah.
with the kid. He goes,
This is all that matters.
as you go there, you see that there's a small kennel that's covered. There's a bunch of snow that is piled in the front. And he's going, Poochie, Poochie, come out here. And he's got his hands. And you see this this rather little bit of a sick dog does come out of the kennel, and it looks like a golden retriever type dog. And you can tell it's very, very skinny, and it's very, very weak. It literally kind of crawls out. All you can tell immediately, this thing is very, very sick. And he goes, the kid, I'm sorry, I wanted to heal him. I wanted to heal him. And he pulls out a small bag from inside the kennel. And you can tell it's the same bag that resembles the bags that are inside the herbalist shop. It is of that same. And he puts his hand into this bag, and I've been trying to heal him by giving him herbs. I've seen her do the same thing, mix them together and give to people. I don't know why it's not working. And he hands the dog a handful of these just kind of crumpled leaves that's not been mixed with water or anything like that. And the dog eats it and kind of whines a little bit, but nothing happens. And he starts crying down his face.
So I'm gonna go. Oh, give me 1 second, little man. And then I'm gonna reach out, touch the dog, and then say my little prayer. And
If you're
Luckily,
doing...
not the skill die that did it. Remember, you can get somebody's 2, so actually have 4, so you succeed. So you do the power, and you see your enchantment fall over the dog, but the dog doesn't get better at all. But the power works successfully. Remember, when you channel, you get rid of -2 penalties, so.
yeah.
In that season, -4, so. So all of you witness to hear that the magical energy courses through the dog, and you see the dog has some superficial wounds on him, but it doesn't. It gets better briefly, and then opens back up.
Do I feel like this is an infection that would need like he's poisoned, like he would need antibiotics or something?
Give me a medicine roll or a perception roll.
Okay. I think I don't even have medicine.
No one does.
Notice roll, right?
Yep. Yeah, sorry, notice. No one's got medicine in this group. Yeah, uncheck hindrances. Alright, as you're looking over the dog, Haldir, you see that on the fur, very, very matted from all the snow and whatnot, dirty, but as your hands are going through, you actually discover that there are a lot of ticks on the dog.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Even in this weather? That's wild.
Yeah. Is there a? Let's see.
Can I roll survival to see if these are magical ticks or something?
Go ahead and give me the roll. What about the rest of you?
Okay.
Anything you all might be doing?
I think upon seeing the ticks, I'm thinking of shaving and trying to coax them off with maybe a lit torch and I don't know, a blunted knife.
Yeah, I got a
We need-
dagger. Start.
We need some oil to put them in too, but we can probably rustle that up. Actually, I've got some now that I think about it. because I have a
I
lantern.
mean, if we've got a lit torch, we have fire, which deals with little creatures significantly better than oil.
Well, I mean, depends, honestly. I mean, in my experience, when you get ticks off, I've dealt with seriously ticked up dogs. You kind of need to put the ticks in something, or else they just roll away, and you gotta deal with them later, especially if they're magical ones. Iceborne
Are you
ticks.
literally
Okay.
talking about having a torch to a dog?
I thought they were talking about taking the ticks off and then putting the tick on the torch or something, but that's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
Please
take
don't
the
put a
tick
torch to a
off the
dog.
I literally took it as y'all were gonna light the torch and then set the dog on fire. That's what I thought you were
Please.
doing.
Please don't do that.
I'm thinking
That's
disposal,
That's
not
a
of the
bad
dog,
thing.
of the ticks.
I do share with the rest of them that these are specific iceborne ticks. They're semi-magical. We're probably going to have to take a certain amount of care with them, and we're also probably going to have to be careful that they don't spread to the humans. So hence the oil. So we'll put a little bit of
Fantastic.
oil in a jar.
Everyone, go ahead and
and
give me
start putting them in
quick
there.
a athletics roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can someone just get a knife and just shave the dog, please?
Well, give it a second.
Um,
Shaving a dog takes a minute.
do you want my hindrance on or not?
Actually, yes.
Okie doke. Fantastic.
You want to betty that?
Please. Don't
Ah.
worry, we'll put a torch on you. It'll be fine.
That's not you two. Oh, sorry. That's not you even there.
We could just
No.
shave
Okay.
the
I was in
dog.
Oh,
meditation.
God, you've got-
We could just shave the dog with the axe.
It's got to be
Hold still, puppy.
The ticks.
Fire axe.
So
Keyword
all of a
is,
sudden, the dog squeals, and this swarm of ticks jump off of the dog onto all of you. And as this swarm of ticks from this dog engulfs all three of you, Vanya, how do you get rid of them on you?
On me, let's see. So these are iceborne ticks. Are we talking like just a few on me, or are we talking like I'm supernaturally covered in them?
We're
What
talking
are we
like maybe 20 of them. Rather large
Okay,
ticks.
Okay, all right, 20 large ticks. That's actually no problem. I can just pry them off with my bare hands and put them onto the put them into the oil where they won't be able to get out.
Fantastic. How do you get rid of the ticks? About 20 of them that jump on you.
I mean, I figure like when they started flying in the air, I just started like grabbing some of them and like smashing them with like my thumbs, kind of deal, and then just like wiping down and just like smashing them.
So when you start smashing them, it's not bright blood that comes out, but almost like a goo, like it's coagulated blood. And Vanya, when you take them off your body, you notice that these ticks are dead.
Like as soon they were dead before, or they're dead once I take them off.
No, they're already dead.
They're undead.
Gruesome.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
About 25 ticks just jump onto you, and immediately start to burrow into your body. As these undead ticks start to drain you, and now that you're a much, much bigger target than the very depleted dog that quickly runs back into its kennel, the ticks start to drain your blood, and because they're undead ticks, literally the blood is starting to pour from their bodies. And you're now being a bit of a excreting sponge of blood. Go ahead and give me a vigor roll.
So like the opposite of a tick.
Alright. Luckily for this second, you are not succumbing to any potential things these might happen with. But this is a very, very unusual sensation. So I want you to go ahead and give me a spirit check for a fear at -1. Because it's something you probably never experienced before.
on. Oh dear. Okay.
All right, so let's see you want to use a Benny. I'll give you a couple seconds if you want to or
No.
not. Okay.
No,
so
let's go with this.
you're overcome by just a sense of fear as you realize that these are undead ticks that are starting to burrow into your body. And all of you, except for Dosta, who is now kind of just chilling out with the herbalist, looks like, or just where it's on the town, you all start to witness as these ticks are starting to drain the blood from Brissom. What do y'all do?
Your wound.
Like, guess who just got a new phobia, Hindran?
Guess who just got a new wound, having just been healed.
I got them off me successfully.
Well, you got no wounds yet. You
Getting them
didn't
off
take any wounds yet.
Right.
I could feel it coming.
Right. One thing is, I got them off me already, so I'm currently clear of them. So I'm going to start trying to get the ones that are at least close enough to the top of the skin. The real burrowers are going to be rather tricky to get out, I'm thinking. But I'll get as many of the ones that are currently not burrowed as I can. That's my plan. And put them in the oil.
Yeah.
Remind everybody else, stop squishing them. Put them in the oil. Because in a minute, we're going to have to start gathering up all the squishy stuff and put that in the oil, too. Otherwise, these things are going to spread.
Yeah, I'm just helping along, just grabbing, trying to.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Are undead considered creatures or beasts, or
No.
is it like D&D where they're not?
No. Once they're dead, they're not beasts no more.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're classified as undead at that point. So you can use your power to like control an undead dog.
Got it.
All right, so Vanya, as you start to tear these things off to clear them from Brewsome, I want you to go ahead and I don't want it to be athletics. I think it's probably be, you know what? Go ahead and give me a unarmed attack roll.
Okay, so fighting then?
Yeah. Give me a fighting roll.
Okay, these things are immune to cold, right? Would my edge apply? I got a success anyway, so it may not matter.
Yeah, they're not Hellfrost ticks. They're just ticks. As is, yeah, you start to pry them off, and go ahead and give me your damage roll.
Sure. So it's unarmed, so it's just my strength,
Yeah,
right?
just pure strength.
Did
Yep.
you want me to roll this too, since I'm helping?
Not yet.
Did it show up?
Need to see how big of a hole you put in me taking these ticks out.
Well, I'm deliberately not going for the ones that are super dug in yet. That's why. Okay, I'm clicking the strength thing. It doesn't seem to be showing up. Is it showing up for the rest of you
Nope.
with the card?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Oh,
Now
there you
it's
go.
okay. Now they all.
Hey.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right.
Right,
Bit
roll
of
it.
lag. I think I did. Now I'm afraid.
Don't hold it one time.
It's currently
Did it
all
roll?
popping up at the moment. Right.
Yeah, they'll
All
pop
right.
up at one time.
All right, let me try.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, and there's
Double
a critical
ones,
fail.
fantastic. So as you try to take him out, you start pulling the
For
ticks,
damage, right?
and you're leaving. Actually, yeah, it's not. It's actually a damage roll, so it's actually fine. So
Yeah.
you're literally not doing helping at all. Brewsome, I need you to give me another vigor roll.
Absolutely. Yeah, we good.
From
There we
blood loss. Okay, you're fine. As you've been drained by blood.
Fantastic.
How are you helping out in this situation as he's being drained of blood at the moment?
Seeing that like these guys are stuck in pretty good, I want to like take my dagger and try and like pry them, like with between my thumb and the blade to pop them off and get them off, and so I could like pull like you understand what I'm trying to say, like
Yeah.
just up
Yep. Go ahead, give me a general attack roll. Give me a fighting roll.
fighting.
All right, go ahead and give me a damage roll with the dagger if you have one, or the blade. Yeah, give me the damage. Give me a damage roll with the dagger.
Shit. Okay, so it's not giving me the option for the dice for the damage.
Yeah. So go into your gear and just activate it. Actually, I had you do the dagger roll instead.
Okay, so it's my strength plus a d4. So,
Or just activate the dagger.
okay.
Yeah, essentially do an attack roll with the dagger, but just do the damage instead of the attack roll.
Is that a raise?
Yes.
Why?
Okay.
Okay. So as you're going through, and you're trying to peel off these ticks, you get some of them. You essentially have shaken this tick,
Okay.
this little swarm on Brewsome. Brewsome, give me another vigor roll.
Of course. Let's see what the dice gods give me this time.
Does he get any pluses because they're shaken?
No, there's multiple of them. All right, you're lucky you're still good. Brewsome, what do you do with these things now? How do you try to get yourself out of this situation as you're being sucked dry of blood?
So it's basically just the most deepest buried ones now, isn't it?
Kind of.
Uh, da, 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 da.
You go down with the blade. You can on the ground. You can put a fire. Put the torch to yourself.
Does either of you even have a? Because I don't have a torch. Do either of you have a torch?
I
Right,
have a
do I? You have a torch.
I have a lantern. Very helpful.
I do-
Just smash a lantern on Brewsome.
Oh no!
Yeah, I think I'll kind of motion over to Haldir and say, "Give me the torch, give me the torch."
Yeah, I'll give you
I'll just take the torch and kind of hold it lit against my skin, hoping to kind of cook them out of it.
God.
In
Alright.
my panic, trying to get them out.
Go ahead and give me at -2 a brawl roll.
What also? Yeah.
fighting.
Oh yeah, fighting. I'm mixing freaking Star Wars right now. I'm thinking Star Wars. Yeah, give me a fighting roll.
Minus two. Ah, got some luck rolls there.
Not quite.
Set yourself alight.
All right. At -1, give me a vigor roll. Okay, you're still good. All right, so here's gonna go next as you three are trying to get these ticks off of Brewsome.
I mean,
The ticks are fully off everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just Brewsome now. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would just be continuing doing the same until.
All right, so same thing. Go ahead and give me a roll, Haldir. Just give me a dagger roll.
Oh, that was supposed to happen.
All right, they're getting deeper in the body, so it's a -2 this time.
Oh,
We'll do it retroactively. All right, it's a
Good,
5.
good.
Still good. All right, go ahead and give me a damage roll. All right, they're already shaken, which means at this point you actually get the rest of the ticks off of Brewsome.
nice.
Thank goodness. All right. Vanya's going to be scraping up all the parts where they squished them and stuff like that, reminding everybody to clean their hands as thoroughly as possible. Obviously, we don't have alcohol in this setting, but yeah, maybe pour some whiskey on it or something, to get all of these little eggs and stuff gathered up. And next thing is going to be trying to find all the other dogs and stuff in this village and make sure that these haven't already spread.
The kid comes out from hiding after seeing all of you kind of flying against each other. What was that? Poochie! And the dog comes out now and looks already immediately better. And it's actually having, for the first time, its tail actually wag. And it comes up to you and starts licking the kid. He goes, Poochie, you're better! And the kid goes, thank you! And in just joyous glee, runs off with the dog.
Wait, kid, we need those herbs. that you stole.
Oh, here, and he throws the bag at you. And then could you just run it off? Vanya, go ahead and give me a agility roll.
Oh, just straight agility or athletics?
Agility.
Agility. Okay, cool. That's good. I got that at a D10. All right. Oh, there we go.
You catch it. Nothing falls out.
Yeah.
It's at a raise. The bag was open when he threw it, and so you grabbed it. You grabbed it into like the lip of the bag, and nothing falls out. A little bit used up, but you got it.
Right on. And so, how badly injured is everybody? Like, has Donsta taken wounds and things from all of this?
Donsta's like at the tavern drinking. He's not even here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that
I'm
happened.
completely unaware of what's happened. I somehow managed to
Sorry,
avoid
Bruce.
all of the wounds.
Good.
think
Good.
we're all
Okay, so nobody's permanently hurt. Oh boy.
Like I said, I'm a dwarf. We're hardy little creatures.
Clearly, Vanya was awfully impressed. We were digging those things out of you. They were halfway into the bone. My goodness. Algier, you ever considered a life as a surgeon?
I am going like straight into healing from here for a little bit, so.
The group needs one. All right, so
Yeah.
you return the bag of herbs to Anselmi.
Vanya was going to discuss with everybody. Should we just say we just found this somewhere, or should we implicate this kid?
I think it would be best to, give the full situation.
Okay.
Because I feel like the kid needs to learn that what he did wasn't right. But equally, that Anselmi should realize it was to help the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a kid. And hope that she
Yeah.
takes pity, but that's up to her.
All right, so who goes into Anselmi's shop when you return?
I suppose I will, since I was the one that took the quest originally.
All right. You enter her shop. She's behind the desk. She's reading some of her notes. She looks up. Brewsome, how can I help you?
Found your bag of herbs. The kid next door with the Finnar armorsmith, his dog had these fleas, and he stole them in order to try and help his dog.
Oh, didn't expect that.
Yeah. Hope you can forgive him, but I feel
No,
something.
I'm gonna wring his neck. These herbs could have gone to useful people, not some damn dog.
Damn, you really don't like dogs.
I love dogs, but my stock is my stock. Whether it's being thefted by a child or an adult, it is still theft.
Well, I suppose he does need to learn from it. He can't go around stealing things.
Yes, he will. I'll do it after my store closes tonight. Were you able to recover what was taken?
Unfortunately, some of it was lost. He was feeding the dog just dry leaves. But most of it seems to still be there.
I'm gonna have that kid put in stocks in front of the town. If everyone knows, steal from me. I save this damn town. People get sick, hurt. And they complain all the damn time that my prices are high. Or they can do it them damn selves for all I care. Thank you, Brewsome. I promised you some coin. She reaches behind her desk, pulls out a rather large coin bag, and tosses it to you.
Very kindly. I guess don't hold this against the kid's family.
Well, they should have raised them better.
Yes. Unfortunately, we can't always control them.
Well, I'll think about how to deliver my speech to the mayor of the town, how to take care of this little kid and his dog.
That's good, as long as other people are involved.
Oh, and another thing
Yes?
on the town of potentially starting a fighting ring and them wanting you to not be able to heal them afterwards. So maybe have a look at installing some stronger locks, because you may be looking at further break-ins.
There's other people that are... You know what? Screw this town. If so many people are wanting to steal from me, not care when I report to the guards, and then all bunch of bullshit here. You know what? I've been thinking about leaving this town for some time now. If they want to treat me like this, then fine. They'll have their own, work on themselves. I'm leaving this town. And in a huff and a bit of rage, she starts to actually start pull down her herbs from the stacks and the racks of her shop. Looking to like move out at this moment.
Maybe the kid will be fine.
Yeah. I mean, she's got the right to leave if she wants to leave. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
It's
I mean,
gonna
wouldn't
suck
you?
for the town, but I mean, yeah, it's gonna suck for the town. But I mean, like, I get it. I understand her point of view.
Yeah.
Not really our business, I mean, we should probably let the mayor know in case the mayor wants to to stay.
Who is the mayor? Is he on the map?
Have we met the mayor?
You never met the mayor.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Well, we could
Then-
ask the barkeep where the mayor is, and let her know that hey, the she wants to leave, and before you pin this on us, better make sure people know.
As you leave her place, she is just kind of cursing and packing up her stock at the moment. Although she actually does, maybe she's very definitely angry, whether she actually leaves or not is kind of be known. But as y'all leave, the ground starts to shake a little more.
Here we go.
And the snow falls from the trees, falls off of the roofs of the buildings. The people are alarmed. Another one? Why is it happening now? You hear on the other side of the town, it's those damn new people that came to the town! It's their fault! And then it stops.
Could we tell? Can I make a roll to see if we can tell, maybe from what direction it was coming? Is it something that's possible? Or...
It kind of came from all around. We can't really get a discernible location where it originated.
Okay. Does this feel very similar to when we felt the worm moving right next to us earlier?
Yes.
So it seems like the worm's right below the town.
Not necessarily below the town, but maybe nearby.
Oh,
Maybe a bit
boy,
closer.
That's very bad. Oh, we did tell the town about the worm, right?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Well,
Then, okay, go on.
well, I was pretty certain we would. I was fairly certain we had, because there's a rumor flying around about it.
Right. I remember it coming up. I just want to make double clear that that's so,
I guess we
Mr.
turned
DM,
here.
we did tell them, right? They're aware that there's this giant worm that was burrowing through all that.
And the thing is, they're kind of scoffing at the idea of a giant worm. A worm so
Okay.
big that can cause the ground to shake. Is kind of disbelieving.
Honest.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. There's nobody but us to vouch for them, and they don't know us and they don't like us. So yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, we did our best.
So, I think I would want to. So, from where I'm at, would I know the direction that the mine and all that stuff was from the town, so I could? Because I feel like if the worm was coming towards the town, I would be able to know which kind of direction it's
The
coming.
town was to the northeast.
Oh, so.
Oh, sorry.
I would-
The ruins was to the northeast.
Okay, so yeah, I would run to kind of run over in that direction to see if maybe that's where the commotion like where the worm might be coming from that direction. Because I would think if the worm's going to come to the town, it's going to come from that direction. That way I could...
You run to the northeast
maybe
part of
we'll
the
see
town
some
to
evidence.
take a look, but you don't see any movement. You don't see any trees swaying anymore. It's still.
Yeah, okay. Are there people over there that are like talking about what's going on?
Pretty much the entire town is talking about the earthquakes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it affected the entire town of Lenga.
Okay.
But after it settles down, they don't really have anything to do about the matter for all intents and purposes. So they just kind of go and continue on their business, and just wondering when it might happen again. What do the rest of you do?
Well, I suppose I go to Donster and ask if he can use his earth magic in order to figure out where the shifts are coming from. Having limited understanding of how it works, but throwing that out there, so I'll suggest that to him. Yeah.
Donsta?
I'm pretty sure if I felt the rumblings of the earth, I'm pretty sure I probably would have walked outside.
Yeah, it's been occurring about maybe once every 2-3 days for a couple
Okay.
seconds, and it goes away.
No. Now, I've tried to do this before to try to feel, I guess, the movement of either creatures or other things from the ground, but I know you told me before there's something different about it because there's like, I guess, another power that does the same exact thing.
You can give me an elementalism roll, and we can go from there.
Okay. Because I know I've tried to do this before, and I think you told me that I couldn't do that anymore in future ones because there's an actual thing that allows me to do the same thing. I think it's a power or ability or something like that. But if you allow me to do it, I can absolutely do it.
Yeah, I can't recall offhand what was specific in that instance. So in this case, what you're trying to deduce. In fact, what are you trying to deduce? What are you trying to figure out, if anything?
I'm just gonna put my hand down to the ground and see if I can feel the tremors and feel, I guess, what kind of direction they're coming from.
All right, you have to channel your elementalism. It'll be at -4 in this case. You can channel to get -2, so it's -2 elementalism roll. Yeah,
It
it's
still looks
just
success.
the ground is just shifting ever so slightly, and every now and then it causes the ground to shake. Can't really glean anything extra from that roll.
Could I roll again?
If you want to, it's going to trigger potentially your own magic. So also let me know if you do trigger the siphoning by rolling one on that die. You're doing magic.
Yeah. I'll try one more time just in case. We'll see. That was worse. Never mind.
Could be like to the worm. Could be not. What do you all want to do?
I mean, so the question really is,
Yeah.
the question is, like, do we want this town to like us, or do we not care?
I think trying to get everybody to like us as much as possible would be a useful, if nothing else, endeavor.
I agree.
You know, better trading.
Haldir would definitely want to try and fight it.
I suppose the question
Vanya
is,
absolutely wants to fight it, but how? We don't even know where it is, right? Or how to get to it?
how far in terms of time is the ruins where we saw it shifting through the wall?
If I remember correctly, it was less than a day, I believe.
Yeah, it wasn't too far.
Yeah, I think it was like 6 or 7 hours, or 4 or 5 hours.
Because here's what I'm, tossing about in my head a little bit. Is we go up there, it will either, depending on its length. Now I imagine it can't be so massively huge that its skin is still there. So I'm thinking we go down there and we kind of follow its tunnel along. That will take us to it. However, it leaves the town pretty much undefended entirely if it does breach the surface.
Yeah.
Other than the guards.
And we should also talk to, see if we could find a way to talk to the mayor before we go out.
Yeah, perhaps order an evacuation. Or, well, suggest an evacuation, I guess. It's a proper term.
Give them a heads up. All that good stuff.
The problem is, if they evacuate, they'll all die in the cold. Like, where are they going to evacuate to?
There was that town that they were all thinking of moving to anyway, wasn't there? There was the, what's that? Sodwound Village? Something like that?
True, but if we suggest that, that'll mean that the conspiracy theorist guard was 100% right. Because he thinks it's all some Scooby-Doo plot.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. However, it's, do we give in to that and try and make him happy? Or do we go with the incredibly likely option that the worm is going to breach the surface or disrupt the surface here, and by them staying they die, and therefore a better option would be to move on, or have them move on?
I'm okay with staying here and fighting the worm when it gets here, but that's because, that's my job description.
Well,
it doesn't really apply to the rest of you.
I suppose the other thing is it won't necessarily reach the surface. If you think about it, it's just boring a tunnel. It might decide to travel past us.
That's true. Hi, Mochi.
Hello, Mochi.
Welcome.
I don't know. That's the two options I see. We either stay here and hope that it breaches, get them to evacuate, or we go and attempt to hunt it down through its tunnels.
So,
or I guess we leave the village to fend for itself. But I'm not sure how many people want to do that.
No, I don't think people want to do that. My thing about trying to hunt it through its tunnels is I doubt those tunnels are going to be something we can travel through. Like, it probably collapses the tunnel behind it as it goes, so I don't think we'd have any real advantage.
I mean,
doing that.
The only thing I'm thinking is if we could, find an area in which the people maybe saw or felt the earthquakes happening from it moving, and trying to draw it out. But I don't know how to go about all that.
Quick question about these worms. Another little thing just popped into my head. Are they carnivorous, or do they survive entirely off of the dirt and things that they scoop up? Would they be attracted to a stew that's been sat in someone's pantry for a while?
I come in and the first topic is the goddamn stew.
Yep.
So before I answer that question, how about we all fill in Mochi, what's been occurring?
We pretty much healed up a little bit. We decided to stay for a week in the town. We healed up a little bit. We saved a dog.
I got infested with ticks.
Yeah.
That's great.
Then we got rid of the
ice
ticks.
ticks.
Undead ice ticks. Fantastic.
Yes.
We talked the herbalists into leaving the town.
Yep.
Yeah.
in a rage.
That's great. I'm glad you did that.
And it's my fault the town is convinced that we're Scooby-Doo villains trying to drive them away with a fake monster so that someone else can come and scoop up their land.
Fantastic. Can't wait to fix that mess.
Yep.
I suppose as background as to why the herbalist is leaving, she had some herbs stolen, and while investigating that, we found out that a boy who was trying to heal his dog, hence the ticks, stole them and was trying to heal his dog by just force feeding him leaves. And that apparently a good chunk of the town is conspiring against her, according to rumors, to open a fight club and not let her heal anybody by stealing her herbs.
Wow.
That's just a rumor.
It is
just a rumor.
It is just a rumor, but also, you know. Oh yeah, and there could potentially be a worm beneath our feet that's causing minor earthquakes.
Fantastic.
Deciding how to deal with things.
Yeah, we're deciding if we want to go back where we were and fight the worm, or wait to fight the worm here, basically.
Or potentially trap it. Should it, like stew? Does it like stew?
You cannot possibly have enough stew, even if it did like stew. We need a lot more stew. We need more stew. Why am I saying this? I should stop.
Right.
Don't tempt me.
The first thing that popped in my head is there are a lot of humans here.
Well, okay, now I wasn't thinking that dark. Come on, man.
In order to save the village, we first must.
However, I imagine that goblin camp where I originally got it might well still be there. I mean, I'm sure the stew is now, solid with the ice, but we'll work that out. And so I've always imagined the stew as being in like a little wooden bowl that would sit comfortably in your hands. Don't question how it's not spilled over everything. It's in a bowl. It's solid. There we go. Or semi-solid. It's like a gel. Oh, it gets worse. Gets worse the more I talk about it.
How about this? Let's take a quick 5-minute break. I actually had a little blood sugar, so I need to get some sweater real quick to have it boost back up since I didn't eat anything this morning. While we do that, I want Mochi to look at the 2 things we implemented in the game. And how about someone to give me a bit of a break while I get my blood sugar back up? Tell Mochi about the 2 things we agreed upon for this game moving forward.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Yeah, so there's 2 things. One is that we're deciding on short and long-term goals for our characters, Mochi, and you can find about where those are in. Okay, where was it?
You go into the journal and on the bottom.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, on the journal. Yeah, when you open up the book type thing on the right-hand side and go all the way to the very, very bottom, there's a little button that says quest log. And you can click on that, you can see the available quests and things like that. These are based on our short-term and long-term goals that we've chosen for our characters.
So there's the available quests, which are like things we could do like right now in the town, and then there's another tab that has our personal ones that we've decided on, and then you just have to kind of just figure like what's a short-term goal for Atlas and like a long-term goal.
Okay.
So like if like a long-term goal of like mine's to kill a dragon. So that's really far out.
All right.
In the
So I didn't actually tell you the reward for long-term goal. So the reward for short-term goal is you get a conviction point. And convictions can be used to add a d6 to any single thing it's already rolled, whether it be damage, a skill check, anything like that. A long-term goal is it's to at that moment level up for that person.
Okay.
Very nice.
Like my short-term goal was I wanted that axe that I grabbed when we were running out. I wanted to like learn about it. So it's something that, like, yeah.
And I think my long-term goal quite nicely blends into the other thing that we discussed. I don't know if somebody wants to
It's
discuss
kind of
it.
like it's like a stronghold. So like we could like either like buy our own little camp kind of deal. And so whenever we do levels up and stuff, we have to return to the camp and like study things. Like if you're learning a new power, like you have to go to like a library to learn how to do the levels ups instead of just you just get it. So it's kind of like a hub where you go to do all your leveling up.
And the
Yeah.
cheapest one is 500 gold, and essentially you can do this as a combined effort, or you can have individual strongholds, as they're called. And the minimum stronghold, the 500 gold, essentially is like renting a room in like an attic, or getting like a chest that you can carry around to be your little study, up to the 100,000 S cost castles you actually build. You can also find ruins and convert them into a stronghold. It's up to you. But I give this as an option. To have a bit more realism in the game, as well as more RP moments and more of have an actual home. And everyone kind of agreed they do like this, and so I would ask you, Mochi, if you like that idea.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then everyone's on board.
Excellent. It was going to be 4-1 anyway.
Wow. Okay. Getting voted off the island now, huh?
Wait, this is a democracy, apparently, I guess. Is it? Did we ever establish
Now-
that?
Should we take a vote?
What, a vote to decide if voting's away? No.
Now, what
I
I
was
do,
about to say that's.
what I would say real quick though, is that the gold I do reward is for the party. So even though I gave you 200 gold, Brewsome, it is for the entire party.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
And like another avenue like I was thinking of was so like the reliquary is the group of people that don't want people to have magic items, and I was thinking like we could like try and work with them to become kind of treasure hunters to help, and then it would give us a reason to actually be able to wield them without being hunted.
Or just keep it hidden
Yeah.
that you have a relic. But right now, they're trying to determine what to do with these earthquakes that's going throughout the town.
Yeah.
And whether to leave or to take care of it.
Oh, and Gruesome, you need to take this battle axe?
Oh, I do. Like, is there an easy way of transferring a battle axe, or am I going to have to...
Just hit Control Space and put in axe, and then just drag it onto your character sheet. Because it's just a regular battle axe right now, since we don't know anything that's going on.
Right, just a regular... was a battle axe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Make sure the category is Hellfrost weapons.
Yep, I see that. Battle axe. And shall I rename that so I don't lose track of it?
Yeah, magical battle axe.
Magical battle axe. Fantastic. And now I'll never forget.
All right, so what is the group's course of action? What do they want to do?
Well, I am very aware that I'm still carrying around this bowl of stew. I don't feel like I'm quite driving the home point of this stew now. Is there any possible... Basically, will this worm be in any way interested in any kind of trap that we could lay?
All right, you did encounter its babies for all intents and purposes. So, for you and anyone here that wants to do it, common knowledge roll, and I'll do the penalties after you roll, because some people have bonuses, some people have negatives to the common knowledge roll based on your backgrounds.
Okay. Nice and low D4.
Okay, I got a success. Oh, and Atlas got rolled up really well.
Yeah, Atlas and Haldir got a raise. I was the only fail. Everybody else knows that this worm will or will not accept offerings, I guess, is what we're going to view it as.
Who, like, if this works, it's like, who would have guessed the human stew would have saved so many lives?
If this does work, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to find more stew. Every time we go into somewhere where we might encounter worms, I need to make sure I have stew on me. Maybe not. Maybe we don't go for the human flesh stew this time. Maybe we'll try something like, I don't know, a nice beef stew, something I can carry around without being targeted if somebody found out about it.
We'll just use imitation human.
I think once something gets rancid enough, it's really hard to tell the difference between human and beef.
I guess it depends. How well did these goblins prepare it? Is there just random fingers and eyeballs floating about in it? Was it actually finely cut up and done properly so you can't tell?
I really don't want to be thinking about this while I'm eating.
Well, I can only apologise.
Message is sent.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's a typo. That last word is wood, not wound.
So, they do love
Okay.
meat,
Okay.
and we're probably gonna have to. So, like, the mines and stuff were. So, is Langa in the flatland, or is
Yeah.
it part of the mountains? Okay, so we would definitely.
The only
have
mountains
to,
are actually the Silver Cat Mountains, are the only mountains nearby.
So,
Okay.
knowing this, would I feel like the worm wouldn't attack Langa then? Or is it close enough to the mountain peak where it's still in danger?
Well, it is a meat eater, and Langa is a town that has a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. So they normally stay in the mountains, but since Langa's pretty close, they are in danger. So I feel like we would have to go out and closer to where we originally saw it if we're going to put the stew to work.
Okay.
Essentially, if we leave, they will probably die.
Well, this was the conundrum we were talking about. Because I think we will know that they're going to die if we leave them. I don't know. Evacuation was something that I suggested we suggest. What suggestions? But I don't know. Yeah. Look, man, I just have the stew. Tell me where to put the stew.
Well, I still think we should talk to like see if we could talk to the mayor and let him know what's going on, so that way,
Yeah.
have a better rapport with the town, hopefully.
Yeah, rather than just abandoning it and hoping that they're okay.
I feel like I'm in the movie Tremors right now.
Absolutely. So I guess we get to find out who's going to be last girl, right? That's how these things work.
All right, what is the course of action?
No, like I said, I think we should see if we could talk to the mayor, let him know what's up, and then
Yeah.
head out.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I'll try to not be around. I just feel like I'd make things worse by being there.
I had one bad roll. You be.
Yeah, you're good.
One bad
Okay.
roll against a conspiracy theorist.
Okay,
You'll never win. Not against a conspiracy theorist.
that's true. That's true.
So I guess we'll just roll the dice on whether the mayor's a conspiracy theorist or not.
As you go to the, so we're going to the mayor. I take it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So you go to the largest building in Lenga, which is the mayor's home. It's a wooden home that has, it's actually half wooden, half stone. The groundwork is stone wall. Then it's about maybe 4 feet height, and the other 5 feet is woodwork that rings around the home itself. And the top is thatched wood. The front has some very, very kind of ornate windows, and there's also a meeting place for any type of business that needs to be done within Lenga. So as you enter into the home, you are greeted by essentially a servant of the mayor, and he quickly looks at all of you and kind of comes rushing forward. And you see in the back, one of the rooms opened up into the hallway and opened up into view of all of you. You see what most likely is the mayor, who is currently sitting at a large desk eating a bit of food. The servant goes up to you. This is Arelt's Hall. You are not natives to Lenga. What brings you here?
We're here to tell you about an impending danger that's causing the earthquakes in the town, and that we're just giving you a heads up that we're gonna go out and try and.
Yet the word is around town that you yourselves are that danger. Already have had guards come up saying they've witnessed some very necromantic magic to, as they put it, kill all of us to take over this town.
Who's died in this town since we've gotten here?
Well, the 4 that you went to rescue and never returned with, that you yourselves returned.
Okay. So which guard saw us apparently kill these people if they weren't there?
They saw magic done, but no one here trusts wholly what you have done.
Well, be prepared to be inspired, because we're gonna go kill a big ass worm.
A big ass worm. The ground has been shaking, we do not know why. But to think a worm that could cause that would be around Lenga is preposterous.
Well, like I said, be prepared to have your mind blown. And then I'm gonna walk out.
Yeah, good call. Nothing
Love the
we're
sass.
gonna get from this. Yeah.
It goes along.
You realize you didn't even talk to the mayor, right?
Hmm?
You realize you didn't talk to the mayor, right?
Oh, well,
You talked to the servant.
that's fine. Oh, I thought.
I doubt we'd get much better,
Yeah.
pushing past the servant and talking to the mayor, probably get
I was
shot
gonna
at
say-
or something.
Pushing past the person invading the mayor's house. Sure,
Yeah.
that'll go
Yeah, that
well.
seems like it would make things even worse than it already is.
Mhm,
I suppose we could ask forcefully if the servant would just go and fetch the mayor because we need to speak with him. Although, I guess it depends how far have we gone with this little roleplay segment. Can we ask the servant to go get the mayor?
You can come back into the house. Well, only Haldir left.
Yeah, I just left. Like, I was just like, I'm not. Yeah.
Okay. I think Bruce will watch Haldir leave and then turn back to the servant and say, "Listen, we need to speak to the mayor. I don't care whether you believe us or not. We need to give you the warning, and yeah, do with it as you will."
You want to speak to the mayor so you can go ahead and try to poison his mind. I don't think... Coleman! That's enough! Let them enter into my house. Yes, Mayor. and he seems a little put down by being essentially talked back by the mayor. And he bows his head and he goes, "Fine, you can speak to the mayor." And he motions for the three of you, or the four of you now, to go ahead and approach the mayor.
What a teacher's pet.
A route. You'll have to pardon Coleman. He's a little suspicious of outsiders, as this entire town is. I know of your exploits already coming into the town. What is it you wish to speak about?
When we were out attempting to rescue your villagers, we discovered a worm beneath the ground. We believe that that worm might be the cause of the earthquakes, and should it be coming this way, you could all be in danger. We intend to attempt to battle it and hopefully save your town, but we cannot guarantee this.
A worm that can move the ground. This entire town has been shaken since just before you arrived, as many have been pointing out now. What size was the worm you saw?
We did not see all of it. We had managed to find our way into an old dwarven storehouse. One of the walls was the same size as its entire body.
You do not think you are exaggerating?
I wish I was, but as we entered the room to search for survivors, that whole wall started to shift.
Now you won't be only fighting off the worm, but also its offspring.
And you're wanting to take care of this problem. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying? Why?
Yeah. I believe it's our duty. We are, but weary
Only
adventurers.
one of you is a Hearth Knight. Do you all follow him or her?
I kind of tag along, but I am a dwarf. I deal with things of the earth.
What is in it for you? Just pride? Wealth?
Vanya speaks up. Redemption. Last time we failed. This time we won't fail again.
This town is poor. I can't promise a substantial reward. We are in the middle of nowhere, and much of the wealth does reside in Godwood Village to the south. People have been wanting to leave Lenga for some time. We're small. Not much trade ever goes through here. Travelers is almost non-existent. Every day, people think about, and some do, leave. Eventually, I suspect that Lenga is going to fade into obscurity and nothingness. If you can take care of this moving earth worm problem, I'll reward you what I can. Not much, but I can hand over 1,000 gold shields.
Thank you very much. We're going to do our best regardless. The townsfolk should be prepared to leave in a hurry.
For many, that would be certain death.
I'm aware. That's why I'm saying there should be a place they can flee to, if at all possible, at least in the short term.
This will cause a panic that I can't afford to bring about. I will have the citizens that are part of the militia on ready, but I can't order a readiness for an evacuation.
I understand. May the gods protect us.
May Eartha watch over all of us.
Indeed.
May Ursa guard you.
He motions for Coleman to escort y'all out of the house. Coleman looks at all of you. I'll be watching you. You might have swayed the mayor, but I'm his eyes. And I am watching you. And then he closes the door.
Whatever.
Like, my whole thought process for that whole thing is if we kill this worm, Donsta has to teleport it back here.
Well, here's an idea.
And I'm gonna
Suppose. Well, I wasn't going to feed anybody. Goddamn. I was going to suggest we lop off its head and allow them to mount it above the mayor's house.
Yeah, I just don't know how big that head is.
Are we
Yeah,
sure
is
we
this
don't-
like a purple worm size, or is this just a small?
Are we sure we're going to know which end is the head? I mean, if it's like a worm, it might not be clear.
The
we'll
whole
find
thing would be like, fuck off, servant.
I mean, I imagine it to be like the Tremors worms. You know,
It's
One
more
end.
like a purple worm.
one
Yeah.
end kind of opens with lots of teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of a very random comparison, but I was thinking of the worm from SpongeBob.
Yeah, why not?
Interesting.
Right on.
What is everyone's plan of action?
I think I'm just out front, just like preparing, making sure like my bowstring's good, my gear's intact.
Testing your weapons, especially ones that are damaged, ready your gear.
Yeah,
We're going to
How
want
do
to
you-
stay together.
Where's the first start of this journey happen at?
and I'm assuming in the northeast, get to the doors and get ready to start marching.
Is that what we're encountering, Frank?
I'm going to assume.
Fantastic. Well then, yeah, that would make an excellent trophy.
That's small.
Do what?
That's small.
Love it.
I just took a photo.
He's like
I can grab a bigger
5'5",
one.
and that's clearly less than 5'5" in the height of the skin, and it was as high as a wall, so it needs to be like 3 times as big as that.
I know.
Yeah,
I just took an image.
I know,
off of
Frank.
The internet.
I know. All right, so y'all gather your belongings, you gather your gear, you equip your armors, your arms, and we're head off to the northeast, back to the ruins of the farmstead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the last known location.
All
Yeah.
right. As you are heading towards that location, you're following the tracks. Now, to see how time progresses, I want to have someone be the survival role and individual.
Oh, we know
Yep.
who that is.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
look
me,
to Vanya.
obviously. Hang on. Yes, yes. This is my thing. Anyone want to support with somebody? Does somebody have like a D4
I can.
survival? Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Well, maybe not survival, but hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
just
Oh, I was just clicking.
I can help in some way.
To try and use my magic. So.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Well-
any assistance would be through perception, and that is something I just shouldn't help with.
Okay, fair. Whenever people have rolled their support, I'll go ahead and roll my survival.
I was gonna do common knowledge, because again, Atlas has a good bit of
Yeah.
knowledge in survival and forestry.
Go for it. All right, Alice, go ahead and roll.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, that
Not
was rolled. Got a +1 there.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, let's see what we get. Oh, not great. With the +1, that's a
A
success.
success. All right. So after about 4 hours, I imagine you
Yep.
probably started a bit in the morning. So we actually started around 9 o'clock. So it'll get to about 2 p.m. when you arrive at the ruins of the farmstead. You actually passed the. Was that roll? Oh, that was
Oh,
You
yeah, that was
actually,
me.
yeah, you passed the stone chimney that you actually want to investigate possibly after this, and you get to the ruins, and it's the same field. You have the now crumpled, and the barn is actually filled into the sinkhole itself. It collapsed into that. We have the entrance into the first tunnel that was past that one door that led to the side, the wall that had the scales of the worm. So is that where I take it where you want to enter?
I think it can't hurt to have a look, see what kind of tunnel we're looking for. Does the worm poop out the dirt? Does it leave a big old, like a underground train tunnel type thing? Is it boring it? Who knows? I certainly don't.
Are you entering that tunnel, or are you entering a different location? That's what I want to ask.
I would like to enter into that little tunnel area, see what happens.
Mhm.
I'll leave it to the rest of the group to disagree with me.
No, I think going in if we have a nice, clear, unobstructed tunnel entrance, let's start there. But let's make sure we can get back up, so let's set up some ropes and stuff.
Yeah, I have a rope.
I wouldn't worry about getting down or up because I can get us in and out pretty easily.
Well,
I have three ways to do it: either wall walk or spider climb, or I could do burrow, which is what me and Atlas used before.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Right, then we'll not worry about getting out. I'm sure that will not bite us in the ass.
There's no way you're gonna roll and get a 1 and lose access to all your powers forever, right?
Well, what happened before was that stone that we broke prevented us from, I guess, being able to get in and out again. So we destroyed it, and now I can basically get in and out.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can still roll bad, can't you?
True. But, I have a D10, so the likelihood of rolling a 1 is
10%.
smaller.
1%.
Not 100%.
Yeah. But you can
I have
still
yet to
Benny
roll a
most
1,
of
so
those
I'm
ones.
good.
Oh, just jinx yourself, why don't you?
Yeah, maybe we
It's
stop
only a
talking about the escape plan.
Yeah.
Only a 1 in 60 of getting the double ones, then, right? That's pretty unusual.
It's happened a few times in the group so far. All right,
Yeah, it
everyone
doesn't
can
have
move
to
their
at all.
tokens to the top of the map, and we'll discuss what is visible there.
I don't see anything. Let me refresh here, see if that helps.
As you enter into that room that had the chest, which is still above ground, by the way, you see that corner wall that is now an empty area. That side of the scales of the worm is no longer there. It is a large cavity in the earth, and it is a circular cavity, and the height is about, I would say, 10 feet in height. About 10 feet in width.
Perfect. When we were in here earlier, do we remember which way it was burrowing?
It was going southwest, if I remember right.
Which is towards the town.
All right.
Oh.
Let's go.
Good. Okay, I can see everything. See things now. All right. Move my stuff here. Okay.
Well, one thing that I think we just kind of glazed over was that we found out that this worm actually is attracted to magic.
Oh, we did? I don't remember that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I'm
Yeah.
glowing right now to him.
Alright.
So
In
I
that-
am a beacon.
In that case,
I don't know if that spell you cast on Vanya is still going. I'm
No,
not clear
not.
how that works here. It's
No,
not? Okay,
I lost my
change it.
powers.
Ah, right.
and
No,
that,
somebody cast a spell to boost my fighting. It wasn't.
Oh, that's
It
not
wasn't
me.
you.
No, it was
that spell's
it was
still
Bruce.
going.
well,
Is that one
I
still going
boosted. I boosted Atlas. Did I boost you as well? I can't remember. Have
You
I
boosted me
boosted
like
people?
three
You boosted
sessions
me, I know
ago.
that for sure.
It was a
I
long
think I'm
time
a-
ago.
I think I may have got 2 people on the boost at the moment. Sure, that'd be fine.
Well, because I know I gave you the one for your armor, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah, there was that.
So right
I
now,
remember
clear
that
all
being-
except for because I know I saw Mike roll his. Everyone clear your abilities because you actually have to re-roll them because it's definitely been a week. So you have to actually
Yeah.
activate the powers because again, siphoning might trigger. So if anyone wants to do some preemptive boosting up powers, do it right now.
I got a raise on mine, so that's pretty awesome.
Wait, what do you mean by boosting of powers?
Any like spells to give them
Oh, okay.
like defenses or offensive abilities. Like I don't, Bruce
Okay.
might do some of his runes.
Yeah, I've got a couple runes that I might do here. So your options are, ladies and gentlemen, I can boost or lower your trait for strength fighting. I can give you Smite, which I cast it on your weapon, and essentially give you a weapon damage increase of +2 or +4 with raise.
Yeah, that's what
Um, and my third option is a defensive spell of deflection.
that might be good for Vanya or Atlas.
Foes
think
must
the-
subtract 2 from attack rolls directed at the user, or 4 with a raise.
I think the fighting bonus is best for Vanya. I'd like to have that back. Because that'll
You
boost
want-
my defense as well as my attack. Yeah.
You want the boost lower trait of strength fighting.
Yes, that's correct. Well, agility fighting. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Does anybody else want any other things so that I can properly overexert myself and yeah?
It's not that important. I can live without it. It's not a huge.
No,
thing,
no,
I'm
no.
just saying. You're offering.
No. This
Okay.
I am offering, and this worm is attracted to magic. So let's.
All right. Let's get
I'm gonna
magic.
cast Deflection on myself or Mirage.
If you're gonna do it now.
Can you cast it with multiple targets? Is that a thing in this version?
You can. So you can do the boost fighting on multiple people, but it's gonna be boost fighting. If you want to do like boost fighting and then strength, it's 2 different spells.
Yeah. So does anybody other than Vanya want a boost? Or deflection or anything? So you don't
I mean,
specifically.
is oh god, words. Does it take more of anything? Like, do you get disadvantages on how many if you need more people, or?
Okay, so let's see. I've got additional recipients for both of them, which does +1. Power may affect more than one target for 1 additional power point each. Someone's going to translate that out of power points for me.
Ultimately, count up the entire power points of the base spell and the extra options, and have it rounding up as the penalty to the roll.
There you go. So it's mostly a roll, you know, a thing to the actual roll itself. By my understanding.
So, like, casting deflection on the whole party would be a pretty risky move.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's
doing.
why I'm. That's why I'm
I already
selecting.
cast it on myself, so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Don does not
It was
get
just an
deflection.
example. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But how do
probably
you,
won't-
Atlas? Either of you?
I probably won't need it. I'll be running around like a crazy person, hopefully.
You say that, but last time you had a pillar fall on you and nearly died twice.
I mean,
I've become more athletic since then.
Okay. Atlas?
if it doesn't cause too much of a problem for your roll, then I mean, I could always go for a bit of a boost.
I think like the deflection would be really good for like the melee
Yeah.
ones.
Well, in that case, shall I give you both? Well, shall I attempt to give you both the fighting bonus and deflection?
That's up to you.
That it is. Let's draw ourselves a worm. Okay, there's our boost lowers trait.
So, how many people are you doing there, Bruce?
Sorry, what was that?
How many people are you boosting?
Just two, Atlas and Vanya.
Okay, and it's for their fighting ability?
Yep.
Okay.
And by my understanding, I take this is going to be a -1, is that?
So it's a -2 with an extra digit. So it's -3, right up, so -2.
Okay, so minus
and
2.
He's
Yep.
channeling it too, right?
Yep, so it's no penalty.
Okay.
Oh, no penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, well not.
Well,
So-
it's still -2.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be right.
Oh yeah, that's definitely good.
Oh, Lord.
Alright, I'll do this for both of you. So it is going to be a... So it's a normal, not a raise, unfortunately. So, alright, fighting... Fighting and boost, apply. There you go.
Okay.
Anyway, I gave it to Haldir, didn't I?
How do you... wasn't getting it? Or
Yeah,
were
no.
you?
Yeah, I put on the wrong character.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Atlas and Vanya.
Yep.
You gave me.
Oh,
I
okay.
got boosted twice.
Shh.
Do for Vanya.
You shush out here.
There you go. Alright.
Is it worth me trying for deflection on you two as well? If you're going to be meleeing? Vanya's not here. I just realised.
Hey,
Oh,
Paul, was I
again-
considered of a
again-
negative?
That's all up to you. You're the one that's gonna do all the spells, so I'm good either way.
Okay. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot.
Alright, it's -1 for the roll because you're already casting another spell. You have another spell up already. So -1, and then whatever the PowerPoint total is, also. If we're doing 2 people, I think it's probably going to be the same thing.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
should I get rid of the other strength boost that I had last time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So this is 3, 4, so it's -2. -2, -3. With the channeling, -1 total to the roll.
So -1 total.
Yep.
You good? You're not being good to me. Well, no deflection for you. Have
Oh,
fun.
you can roll again. Remember, you might trigger the siphoning though.
I've got things I can roll back onto if I do. Okay, well, I think the gods are telling me that I'm not giving
Well-
you deflection.
You see that skill die is a 1, you trigger the siphoning.
Oh, excellent.
So either use a Benny
Benny-
to reroll it, or
Benny,
you
yeah.
trigger the siphoning.
Benny.
Yes, I do have a Benny left.
You start to feel the magic being drained from your body before you... There you go.
Oh,
There you go. All right.
Nikes
Ooh, Benny's always
Oh
worth it.
my god.
at the raise.
There you go. Live
Nice.
forever.
That was -2 from
Holy.
both kinds, so that's awesome. Whew.
Should be -4.
so-
But with the raise, it's a -4.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oh, it is? Oh, neat.
yeah.
With a raise.
Basically, invincibility. Enjoy yourselves.
Wait, is that on everybody or just
No,
Atlas?
Atlas and
Just
Vanya.
Atlas and Vanya.
Wow, phenomenal. And that's for both melee and ranged? I guess it won't matter. The worm's
Yeah,
not going
it's
to
for
be throwing
both.
stuff at it. But okay, that is phenomenal. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'm not going to bother trying to buff myself because I was told several times there to stop and rethink everything I've been doing.
Hey, you
So-
have a magic axe. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
We'll just be your bodyguards. It's okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
that sounds like
absolutely.
a good idea. I also have that ancient dwarven great axe with a D10 of strength, which I might use in favour of the. Although it's magical. We'll find out.
Oh, maybe that's the one I was thinking of then. Okay.
Basically, I have
As-
more.
Here comes the worm.
I was going to say.
No, continue. I'll wait. I'll wait you're done.
I was just going to say that I've got more axes in my inventory than any lumberjack has necessary.
That
Continue,
does
please.
all blurry.
Please tell us how we're going to die.
Yes.
As you look into the tunnel, that was the worm burrowing to the southwest towards the town of Lenga. The tunnel itself, as I mentioned, was about 10 feet in diameter, but it's not smooth. It's blackened like it was hit by a blowtorch. And it's almost like the entire surface is been melted and then rehardened in that kind of that liquidy type of nature. It is completely dark, so you light torches and whatnot. You can see inside. You can't see. You look down to the left towards Lenga. It does curve ever so. It doesn't go in a straight line. It does curve in a wavy-esque pattern. And then you look to the northeast, where it probably came from, and you can see that it's also quiet for a little bit. As you are getting ready to move towards a worm, you hear tapping. Many, many small tapping noises coming from the northeast. What do you do?
So the tapping, is it like from like something shaking, like the ground's rumbling?
No, ground's not
It's-
rumbling. It's just you just hear tapping noises.
Vanya shouts, "It's the babies! They're back!"
And a second thing, can I
Whoa.
tell like it's melted from like heat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot this thing blows fire. It breathes fire.
I was gonna
This
say-
would be useful.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
oh.
gonna say, maybe the axe doesn't work on this guy. Like,
Well, it's a good thing I've got my
fire.
great axe.
I wonder if that gives it immunity to cold. Probably not. Okay.
You can't see either things, what we call the tapping, or the worm from either location. What do you go? Where do you go? What do you do?
Are we hopping into
Are-
this tunnel?
Yeah, I thought that was the plan, right?
Yeah.
Well, I assume the tapping sound is like coming towards us, is it? Or is it just in the distance?
It's in the distance. If you want to spend time here to gauge if it's getting closer, it's up to you. But it's what you hear immediately, though. It's slight.
I think we'll. Well, I think we should start heading down because we're
Yeah.
burning time already getting here.
Yeah.
The town could already be in shambles. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's ride.
Of course, on the plus side, if everybody in the town dies, it's no harm to our reputation.
And we'll have a stronghold.
I know, I'm just being silly. Anyway.
You start to travel to the southwest. You're moving, and the first couple seconds turn to minutes, turn to a few minutes, turn to 30 minutes, turns to an hour, to 2 hours, to 3 hours, to 4 hours.
Are we not heading into the right direction?
That long walking through this
Did
tunnel?
did the tapping cease the further we went? Or did it get stronger?
It ceased.
Oh, I think we might have went the wrong way.
So we were going towards the town, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hang on. Before we went quite that far, can I make survival checks to see if, like, I do feel like it can't be that difficult to know if the worm's been this way more recently, right? It's a massive creature.
Survival is not necessary.
Okay.
It was traveling to the southwest when you initially found it, and it's not able to double back in the width of the tunnel, so it has continued going to the southwest.
But it probably got there before we did, is what you're saying, huh? So we should be pretty close to the town down if we've been walking for that long, right?
After about the 4.5 hours, you come across another tunnel that crisscrosses in front of the tunnel you're already walking through, giving you essentially a four-way intersection. You stop at the intersection and you look to the left, another crisscross. Look to the right, another cross. Almost like the worm has now been circling the area. You notice on the wall next to you is actually stonework, artificial brick. And then you look a little bit to the left, a little bit further on, and you see more stonework, brick. The same colorization of Lenga's buildings. You see some of the foundation that's been burned away, melted by the traveling of the worm above your head. And you realize you were under the town of Lenga. The worm, in your 5-day stay here, has already gotten to the town and probably maybe moved past. Although this is the first time you can see that the worm circles this area. Like it was maybe drawn here. The ground shakes a little more. And now that you're within the tunnels under Lenga, you see that parts of the ground around your feet start to break apart, crack, forms on the ground, cross into the walls, and then pieces of the ground fall into a black void before you hear a splash of water and the echoing of a cavern. More parts of the ground crack and break as, well, you're seeing that Lenga sits above a large cavern that has been potentially opened up because of the burrowing of the worm circulating around the area. As the ground shakes some more, causing more of the foundation of the buildings around you to break, and the ground around you to break and open up into this cavern that is deep. And
so can we see sunlight?
Cascading effect as rocks start to break ever so slightly, and then immediately to your question, enough of the ground above you, above your heads, breaks and splits as sunlight beams into your tunnel. And from the shaking of the earth, as the ground is shifting because it's sitting above this cavern, you're seeing the side wall of a building similar to what happened to the ruined farmstead, but on a much grander scale this time, starts to tip slightly as the foundation is given away, as the foundation is sitting above a tunnel. And a tunnel collapses next to all of you, showering with all with dust and debris and dirt. You have to cough through it. But because that tunnel was a voided area, that building, one of these side buildings of Lenga, falls 10 feet, crashing into the tunnel, and the momentum of that actually breaks the floor beneath it, the stonework, and the entire building falls into the voided cavern. You hear screams erupt from the surface as people now are witnessing their home being succumbed to a large earthquake / sinkhole / the ground caving in. No sign of the worm. What do you do?
So like looking at like I want to like look down into this cavern that fell down. Like you said, it broke open. So is there light that goes down so I could get a gauge of how deep it goes down?
Yeah, it's a natural cavern that's only about maybe 20 feet in depth with some water pooling on the bottom. And so from the surface to the bottom of that pool, it's about 30 feet. Not really that far. It's actually less depth than the sinkhole in the Dwarven mines or the Dwarven settlement. But a 30-foot drop for a home is disastrous. And it looks like this cavern system runs through the entire area. Probably the cavern system that the dwarves used initially to get here or to build their settlement.
Do we hear anybody screaming inside of that building?
Yeah.
You heard one or two, unfortunately.
So
Okay.
I would like just pull out my rope and try and tie it onto any of the foundations that are sturdy that we could find, and then drop it down so we could get down there.
That building has shattered, and you can see the unmoving bodies of whoever was inside there. But what you can hear is that with the ground shaking above you on the surface, a lot of disaster is occurring.
So the people that were in that building are dead.
Yes.
Okay.
The building collapsed on top of them. The building essentially completely collapsed on top of them, and you can tell they wouldn't survive that.
Okay.
It was like brick stonework buildings, so yeah, they're done.
And so what we hear above, is it just like people screaming or?
Yeah, the entire town is collapsing.
Okay. I'm trying to gauge.
Should we get above ground?
Yeah, I'm trying to gauge if the worm is up there.
Well, by the sounds of it, it's not up there. It's just the ground is starting to collapse, and obviously people are terrified as their village sinks.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I suspect the worm is probably still beneath the ground. I don't think it's actually worth going up top to say everybody evacuate. I'm pretty certain that's already happened now that the house has fallen. But we'll see. We'll see what everyone else thinks.
I agree with that. I think we should probably just like try and
especially just
think a
how-
little more for our safety, considering that we are beneath what is collapsing.
Well, the mayor had already said that he wasn't going to evacuate, so that's on him if he didn't evacuate or have evacuation plan or anything like that.
Yeah, we did kind of tell them many hours before that there was a giant worm underneath the ground. So if he didn't think to save his people after that warning, that is kind of on him, because we couldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
That was like the extent of our abilities there.
Yeah, we should just probably just head where the worm is, and that's away from the town.
In which direction? Because by the
Well,
sounds,
so you're at the edge of the town, and before you is all the tunnels, but all the tunnels are collapsing. So being underground right now can be potentially very, very dangerous. You're
Yeah, like I was
underneath a
saying,
collapsing town is what it is.
I think we should think of our safety right now, because we're under a collapsing town and above a collapsing cavern, which is, we are sandwiched between two extremely dangerous places.
Yes.
So it is very essential that we make sure that we don't get crushed under here.
I agree.
Well, what I would actually like to do is cast water or wall walk and see if I can grab those two bodies and walk up to the surface.
You can't, Dawson. It'll just take a little bit of time.
Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be mad at us for leaving the bodies. Just like, with the bodies that were down in the caverns.
Yeah, I guess
If they're still alive up there. Because it sounds like everything up there is getting collapsing in.
yeah, I think
Well, the tunnels are collapsing and it's collapsing up there, so I would rather not be in the tunnels when they collapse. I'd rather be up, up top where I can get somewhere safe.
Well, here's the thing. So, by the sounds of it, we've been walking down one tunnel for a very long time, and then we've approached an area of lots of crisscrossing tunnels, right?
Yes.
And that's where it's all falling down because obviously it's very weak.
And the crisscrossing's under the town.
Yeah. So, could we sprint back up the tunnel that we have come down? Bearing in mind that will probably be more structurally intact, considering there's just one tunnel instead of multiple. I doubt there's going to be any quick things that we can duck into that will shelter us. I have my shield. What if we get some of the stronger people to kind of hold the shield up above others while we kind of tuck into the wall further down the tunnel somewhere?
So, let's paint the scene real quick. You're at the edge of Langa, underground. In the tunnel is caused by the worm, and it started to crisscross and circle essentially around the area of Langa. Beneath the town of Langa, in connection with the dwarves, is a natural cavern system, only about 20 feet in depth. You're at the edge, and before you, the town's collapsing. People are screaming, people are running away. Already one building fell into the cavern that got demolished when the building struck the ground inside the cavern. As you look behind you, you can hear that scraping noise. And it is not the worm's offspring that's causing the noise. What's causing the noise is the bony feet of a number of skeletons. As from wall to wall, only about 10 feet in width, you see dozens upon dozens of skeletons using the tunnel as a roadway.
Marching off to the skeleton war.
From their eyes, the slight glow of the red necromantic energy.
Oh,
Yes.
And
Seems
they're
like-
coming from... Okay, go on. Yeah, sorry.
I would like to pull out one of my arrows, and I want to shoot like the ground, like above them, if that makes sense, and try and collapse like that area of the tunnel. It was one of my whirlwind quiver, because it has the air magic and it's kind of like a concussion. And I'm hoping to, if I hit the ground above them, it'll collapse and block that off. If that sounds all right.
Go ahead and give me a shooting roll.
So if there's a shit ton of them.
Oh, there's a shit ton of them.
Okay. I feel like it'd be easier.
Wait, Mochi was saying something too, though.
Yeah.
So before you do that, we'll do everyone. So, we'll go from top to bottom. Vanya, what is your reaction to this event?
Well, Vanya is actually ready to... Now, which direction are they coming from, the skeleton army?
They're coming from the northeast, from where essentially...
Where we came from.
Yes.
So they were like behind us. Okay.
They're in between the skeleton and the worm.
Okay. Vanya's initial reaction is to charge toward them and try to hold them back for a moment, so maybe the rest can get away, but then she sees the plan with the bow and thinks, okay, yeah, that might not be a bad idea then. Okay. So she's just standing ready, hoping somebody else has a good plan at this point.
Donsta, what's your reaction?
I was actually going to do elemental manipulation to see if I could create a wall to seal off the tunnel.
Not in time. You do a foot cube per cast, and it's 10 foot in width. You wouldn't have time to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you only affect a cube of a square cube of material per cast, and how close they are, we'd be able to get 10 feet in time. You could definitely probably slow them
protect
down,
the
though,
top.
but you wouldn't be able to block it off.
Well, the duration of it is 5 rounds.
But per cast, you can only do 1 foot per cast. They're essentially close enough to where you wouldn't be able to affect the entire tunnel by the time they arrive, essentially.
I think it's per round because the duration is 5 rounds, and it says I can do that I think it's per round.
Yeah, per round is 1 foot cube, I believe. Let me read. What you're looking for is actually the barrier spells, what you're looking for.
Okay.
But I don't want to say no if I'm reading it wrong, so let me do it real quick. Yeah, you move a square foot of earth per round. And you wouldn't be able to do 10 feet in enough time for them to pop up, essentially.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, but anything else you want to do? Or do you want to, I mean, it'll slow them down, but you wouldn't be able to do a full wall by the time they arrive.
Maybe like if I get my shot off and it collapses a little bit, you could like harden it so make it harder for them to come in. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's already blocked, so it's really isn't any point with that. But that's fine. I mean, I don't have anything else to do, so I'm just gonna sit there.
All right, Alice, what about you?
Well, Atlas honestly can't do a whole lot. He's just kind of looking towards the others to see exactly what they're going to be able to do, because I think in terms of getting out, isn't it only Dawnsta that has potential to get us out?
You can theoretically climb out of the hole right now. Because you have opening to the surface. There's multiple openings to the surface now. And the tunnel is, 10 feet in height, but it's very, very close to the surface, which is causing all the cave-ins. So
Right.
you could climb out naturally.
Okay.
This is important to me, but there is light in the tunnel from the surface.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, then Atlas is kind of like looking at the others, like, with a look of why the hell aren't you attempting to get out? Like, he can see what I believe Haldir is attempting to do, and he understands that, but at the same time, he doesn't see how helpful that's going to be for them.
Well, my thought process is if we could capture them in the tunnel, then it'll help keep the people up top safe from the skeletons coming out as well. So.
Well, the town that those people are living in is already collapsing, and at the moment, in Atlas's mind, we kind of have to be selfish because, again, we're now not only sandwiched between 2 collapsing areas, but there is also a horde of skeletons coming where we are directly standing.
Yeah, but if I get this arrow off, that's a little more time. We don't have to worry about skeletons.
Yeah, let's see if it works. I want to see if the arrow thing works.
All right. Real quick, before I do this all in order, Brewston, what about you?
Yeah, I reckon Haldir's plan to try and bring the tunnel down on top of the skeletons isn't half bad. Is Haldir only ranged person here, unless we start throwing stuff?
I've got axes I can throw, but it's not really my thing.
Right.
Like, to be clear, like the plan for me is shoot, hopefully it works, brings it down, and then get out.
Yeah.
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 Swear I saw shooting. Yeah. I reckon we try and bring it down using Haldir's plan.
All right.
And then escape.
Okay. And lastly, Mochi, I might have cut you off. So, is there anything you want to wrap up with that? Or Atlas?
No. Atlas is just more interested in escaping than anything else right now.
Alright, so as we look to possibly escape, at the ready, weapons probably drawn, because you do get into a fight. Haldir pulls an arrow, knocks it, and is about to release it as wind starts to form up in the tunnel around the arrowhead of his bow, or the arrow on the bow. Haldir, go ahead and give me a shooting roll. It's up to you to decide if you want to get a raise or not. It'll make a difference in this situation when it comes to the damage of the raises. But when
Well,
you're
have
good,
to-
go ahead and give me the damage roll.
So what's the -1 from?
Oh, because the bow is damaged, so I have to remove that.
Oh, okay.
I'll do that right now.
And all right. Let me know when it's done. I'll re-roll it with the Benny.
Okay, it's good.
That would.
But
that
redo the
one-
entire thing. I'm just gonna use the same stats. It's fine.
Well-
I'll do retroactively.
An 8.
So it would have been 8. So it is a raise. So go ahead and give me a attack roll with, or give me a damage roll with a raise.
All right, and it's gonna be a +4. So it'd be 14 because of I had the raise on my whirlwind quiver.
Got it. All right. So all of you feel the gust of wind as the arrow flies out from Haldir's bow, hits the top of the circular tunnel, right above the skeletons, and it hits with a concussive blast of wind. All of you watch as your cloaks and your clothing gets blasted back. Some of the skeletons actually get blasted to the ground, and you notice that all the skeletons are actually dwarven. There's no human skeleton amongst the sizes of the skeletons there. But at first, nothing happens, just a giant concussive blast of wind. But then, because of it being so close to the surface and the tunnel itself, that concussive blast causes the walls and the roof above them to collapse. And then, in one giant collapse, it obscures and falls on top of the skeletons, crushing probably a couple dozen of them there immediately before the tunnel beneath them breaks apart and all of them at the front of this conga line of skeletons fall into the cavern. But that concussive blast also causes your tunnel to become immediately unstable. Everyone needs to tell me if they're going to go into the cavern with all the collapses or get to the surface.
Surface.
First,
Yeah, surface.
Everyone, athletic rolls.
Okay.
At -1.
-1. All right.
Is it
assume you
okay
won't.
for me to cast Spider Climb?
If you cast Spider Climb, Donst, I'll give you +2 to the roll. You're still on the even surface, it's all falling apart. I'll give you +2 to the roll for casting it.
I assume my hindrance will come into play. Take that as a yes.
Donsta, that's siphoning. Want to re-roll it?
I'll re-roll it.
Alright, cool. Athletics roll, Donsta, I'd set you a +1. When you got a raise, give me a plus, we'll do a +4. +3, Donsta. Athletics. Just because the wall you're on could collapse while you're sticking to it is the main reason for it.
You said +3?
Yeah. Alright, everyone succeeded. All of you immediately, as the ground's collapsing and you're hearing the rubble from your tunnel fall into the cavern, the skeletons fall into the cavern, the buildings falling, collapsing, people screaming on the surface, you all climb quickly, scrambling to the surface, and you look around as the ground is shaking. You don't see the sights of the worm, but you see everyone running everywhere, ever so which way. At the same time, at the further end of the tunnel, where the skeletons are coming from, because of the breakage, a part of the surface does open up, and you start to see skeletons come out of the ground. Dwarven skeletons. None of them have weapons. None of them have clothing or armor. They're all completely nude skeletons for all types of purposes, but they're all dwarven in structure, and they're climbing out of the ground. At first, 1 or 2, then about a dozen. And now, I ask you, do you wish to help out the town and try to evacuate, do you run? Do you be heroes? Or do you take the way of leaving this town to its fate because the mayor essentially said no?
My hero, sir.
Vanya is going to be a big damn hero, no question. Like, her
I mean,
instinct is to charge towards the skeletons.
Yeah, I'm flying arrows.
That dwarves should be killed by dwarven hand.
Makes sense to me.
Atlas?
And with a dwarven axe.
Surprisingly, Atlas is actually a bit torn. It kind of takes him longer than the others to just give in and go with helping.
Donsta, what about you?
Well, my initial reaction would be to run in and try to evacuate anybody that's straggling and protecting them if any skeletons run into town.
Okay. We're going to go into a challenge. As the town's falling apart, people are evacuating, but also now being pursued by skeletons coming out of the ground. This is going to be a 3-round skill challenge we're going to do here to be damn heroes. To succeed at the skill challenge, we're going to require, let's see, we need 17 successes in 3 rounds. If you don't acquire 17 successes in 3 rounds, this challenge fails and I pursue my narration forward on what happens. But to succeed, besides the 17 successes that we need, we also are going to require a way to stop the skeletons from surfacing. However you decide that might be. So 17 successes, as well as a way to stop the skeletons from exiting that tunnel that is still open to the surface right now.
Are the skeletons all coming from one exit, or are they coming from multiple exits?
There's about 2 exits. So I need 2 skills or magic done to stop the tunnels from letting them exit. This goes into a skill challenge. We go into initiative.
Mm-hmm.
This is the order for the entire situation. Haldir, you're at the surface. We have buildings falling down. We have people escaping as best they can. People falling down. We have skeletons pursuing the civilians. You give me a skill check or a combat check. Now remember, you can't do the same skill check again on further rounds.
Okay.
And you narrate what you do, you roll, and then I narrate the success or failure of that skill check.
So at first, I would want to be continuing with my whirlwind quiver and trying to like shoot at the skeletons or around the openings to try and damage those holes, to try and like maybe like once again just try and have cave in or like try and block them, or if I see straggling skeletons running towards people, to like trying to pick them off to.
Okay. So you knock on an arrow, roll one quiver, and you launch an arrow. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. Difficulty on this one is a difficulty of 6.
Okay. Well, that failed. So. See.
Up to you if you want to Benny or not.
Yeah. I'm gonna put in the -6 now. With Benny. Yeah, I failed.
Okay. You launch an arrow. It strikes the ground, and a giant gust of wind erupts again, but it doesn't close or cause a collapse.
Okay.
Donsta, what are you doing?
Have any of the skeletons entered the town yet?
Oh yeah, they're already attacking people.
Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna go after those skeletons that are attacking the people.
All right, how do you go after them? What do? You watch as a couple of skeletons are attacking a family as they're trying to run away, as their home is collapsing into the ground.
I definitely want to cast Earthen Shard to see if I can hit a couple of them.
Go for it.
Oh yeah.
2 successes. The most you can get is 2 successes in your skill challenges. So, you launch a couple of your bolts as Haldir is shooting at the ground, and these giant rocks you're thrown with your Earthen Shard shatters the 4 or 5 skeletons going after the family. After they fall to the ground, the skeletons in pieces, the family looks at you, they thank you, and they get back up and run as their home falls to the ground. That's now 2 successes. We go to the next person, Atlas. What are you doing?
Can he see any other skeletons attacking anyone else? Like,
oh, absolutely. There's a horde of skeletons.
Okay. Would I be able to do? Would I be able to blade dance them?
Absolutely. You watch as more people are trying to escape and evade, that you find an opening to get in between about a dozen skeletons. Fighting roll at -2. Looking for a DC or target number of 5.
Fighting roll?
Or give me your attack roll with your blade.
Okay.
So actually, we're going with a parry of 5 with your -2 for being a blade dancer.
I just have to remember how to do that.
Just trigger like you're attacking. Yep, just like that.
There you go. I clicked the wrong thing. That's
Gotcha.
why.
Just put -2 in your modifiers and click roll. Okay. Not a race, but a single success. Although you can do a bending roll if you want to. But you dash forward. In fact, you tell me. You're the one that's narrating it. You tell me how you save. And we'll give an example. You can make up the example of who you save and how you save them.
Oh man.
Or if you're looking for some inspiration, so y'all let me know if you're looking for inspiration.
I have one.
Go for it.
Atlas, he can see, like, obviously everybody in the town is attempting to run when they can away from these skeletons, and he saw that, who was it? Was that Haldir that just went after, before me?
No,
that was Donsta.
That was Donsta, okay, sorry. And, like, I had seen that he saved a family, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Atlas noticed that, and he sees that a lot of the families are the ones being helped out. But he notices that there is this one woman that is terrified and being chased by an entire horde and doesn't seem to be getting help from anyone simply because she doesn't, like, have a family. So he goes directly towards helping her out, and his blade dancing is a lot of very swift slashes and surprisingly a lot of spinning. So it's a lot of, like, he slashes one way, spins, slashes down that way, and then kind of does that similar sort of motion against all of them.
Fantastic. And after you get to her, behind you is just a wake, a field of broken down, destroyed dwarven skeletons. She sees you, thanks you, and goes with the rest of the people escaping this disaster occurring right now. Vanya, we already have 2 people already, or we have Vanya, or we have Alice already darting away. We have Haldir shooting. We have Donsta casting spells at the skeletons.
Right. Vanya's plan, and you can let me know if this is okay, but Vanya's plan was, I figure, there were horses in town, right?
Yes.
And they're panicking and running around everywhere, and they're actually presenting a bit of a threat to the people already on their own. What Vanya is going to do is she's going to use her riding ability to grab one of those horses and then use those horses to just trample, well, one horse obviously, to trample over as many of the skeletons as she can. And she's trying to accomplish two things. You know, the trampling probably won't work exactly. These aren't war horses, but the idea is to get the attention of as many skeletons as possible and get them moving in a different direction from where the majority of the townspeople are.
Gotcha. Give me a ride and roll.
Okay. Let's throw that on. And here we go. That's terrible on the Benny that. That's better.
Keeping it?
Okay. It's a 5. I mean, success. I'll take it, yeah.
So we have 4 successes so far. All right, so you rush over the horses. One horse gallops forward in panic as the area that they've been residing in collapses into the ground. One horse disappears into the cavern. A couple more rush out, one striking a couple of the civilians of Lenga before you actually get reins of it and grab the rest of the horses and essentially get the attention of the skeletons as a big group was moving towards more civilians. But you direct them towards you yourself, and you rush past them, trampling some of the skeletons before you get a large part of the horde away from them. Fantastic. Brewsome, last person for round 1.
Right. Looking at what I can do, there's not a huge amount. I suppose I go straight for, I guess, the most dense part of the skeletons. Maybe not necessarily the ones posing an immediate threat, but could pose a greater threat later on. And just start swinging with my great axe.
Go for it.
Attack to heal them. Was that me? That was me.
This damage roll, look for attack roll.
Don't know why I rolled. Anyway,
That is 2 successes. Fantastic. You swing in. You went in with your warhammer or your great axe and just start cleaving the skeletons in pieces. You being so close, you realize that there are some shrouds on these skeletons, Brewsome. These are actually buried dwarven skeletons. It's like a graveyard of dwarven skeletons came to life. Or unlife, I should say. Alright, fantastic. At the end of round 1, we have 6 successes out of 17. But we still have to find 2 ways, 2 skill rolls to close the tunnels. Round 2. Haldir, what do you do?
So
Remember, you cannot do the same skill check again, or the pass or fail.
Yeah. So I want to, as I'm running around shooting, I want to see if I can find stragglers that are hurt or injured.
Oh, absolutely, everywhere.
As I'm running around, I want to start grabbing people, lifting them up, and like healing them, and like pointing them and like trying to point them in directions to run.
You want to use the healing power, or what skill do you want to use?
Yeah.
Okay,
Healing.
go for it.
I am terrible.
I certainly don't love you.
Yeah, fortunately, that's a fail. You have no bennies, so.
Yep. I stuck.
Oh, dang.
As you go to try to heal, you heal a couple of people, and they thank you. And you start to rush away with them, and as this person's running, the ground collapses underneath him, and he falls out of your grasp into the ground. The last thing you hear is him screaming at you with his face full of fear, and he disappears into the cavern. Donsta.
He said we can't use the same one as before, so I'd have to use something else other than bolt.
And I'll probably give you penalty because essentially a mage can essentially pass this really easy. So every magic you do, I'll probably get -2 to the roll.
Okay.
Oh, I'll do -1. I'll go easy right now. -1 to the roll. For every additional spell you do, that's not the same one. Because the mage can essentially blow through these. I want people to use some skills, so.
Okay. Let's see. Skills.
You can do a spell dot stuff, but it'll just be a -1 right now.
I'm trying to think of how we could just close these tunnels, but especially in the amount of time that we need to do in 2 more rounds. Let's see.
Well, one easy way is you could use your manipulation to close one.
But that would take more than 2 rounds.
No, let's go check. We'll close it. This is narrative. This isn't 6-second turn based. This is more narrative right now.
Oh, okay.
We're not in combat.
I can do it. All right, I'll do that.
Okay. But it is a spell, so it'll be at -1 to the roll. Plus whatever penalty it is for the spell itself, which should already be included.
Why is there a penalty for the spell itself?
Every spell to cast has a penalty because they cost power, and so it's not an innate spell you cast instantly. So whatever the power point, the base cost is, will be the penalty for the spell itself.
Okay. Let's see, minus.
Which looks like you can declare it as it is. All right, so it's base 1
It's
-1, so -2, so it's actually it's a 7. 1 success.
Would I have needed a raise to?
Get 2? Yeah,
Get
you would
it
have
done?
to get a 10 to get a raise. If you want to use a Benny, it's up to you.
You know what? I'll Benny it.
Okay.
Let's see. That was supposed to be a 9. What the heck?
We're keeping with it?
I'm tempting fate here. I'll do it again. I'm doing it again.
Ah.
All right.
Alright. Well, we got 7 successes. As you close the ground of 1, so we have 1 tunnel closed out of 2. Alice, what are you doing? As everyone's in action, saving people, and killing the skeletons, being heroes. What's your action, Atlas?
Exactly how big is the last opening that they're coming through?
It's about the size for a human to fit through, so we'll say about maybe 4 feet in diameter. Not big.
Okay. Is there any way that someone could just use brute strength to try and close it up?
I would
Like
say
to just push in, whether it be the debris around or
Yeah.
simply.
absolutely. I'll let you use athletics, or it would have to be a skill though, so it'll probably be athletics.
I was gonna try fighting because like, what's the word?
Tell me how fighting would fit, and if I agree with it, I'll let you use it. Although technically I can't
Is-
because you used it already for the last round when you did your blade dancing.
That goes with fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? These are challenging. I'll let you use an attribute 1 time if you want to.
Sorry?
You can use an attribute 1 time if you want to in these skill challenges. If you're not sure, Alice, you want to wait? I can skip your turn if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm not by my computer. Who's next? Have them go.
I'm next. I actually had the same thought that Mochi did, and my thought was, if we can use the attribute, I was going to try using agility to close that hole.
How
My
so?
thought was that. Well, here's my thought. There's all these big buildings that are kind of falling down in the general area of where this hole is, right?
Yes.
Because buildings are falling down everywhere.
Yes.
And so my plan was basically to, hop up and try to get one of those buildings to fall down exactly like on the hole, just cover up the hole.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a similar idea, yeah.
Yeah, I could tell we were thinking along the same lines.
Yeah, I was
So-
thinking.
Could I
Cool.
roll an agility as well to help out with Vanya?
It's just probably better this way. I got my success. I'm gonna Benny it because I think we need a bit more successes.
Helping out probably wouldn't be as advantageous as do it yourself, but you can agility yourself.
Okay.
Just with the different, or you continue doing the holes also. As is, this would actually complete this goal of 2 tunnels being closed.
Yeah, I only got 1 success, but at least it's closed. So I guess I'm done.
Okay.
And you can do something else then.
And Alice, you can still use agility. You just use it for a different manner. Or you can just in the
Yeah.
example, use agility to drop buildings on top of skeletons. Boom.
Mochi?
Yeah, sorry. I'm
Okay.
still trying to think.
Do you want me to skip you one more time?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to use a specific skill.
Got it. Brewsome, go.
So we've got 2 things closed. How many successes are we at now?
8.
8.
And we need like 17, so
Yeah,
we're not
need
gonna
9 more.
make it.
Yeah.
It's
I've
not
totally-
going to happen.
Yeah, I've totally screwed us. with My rolls.
It's okay. It was really unlikely we were ever going to.
The failure, it just means a fight's going to happen next session.
So I can't use my attribute of fighting because I used that with the great axe.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's unfortunate because that was my highest skill. Let's see. I suppose I go around and any villagers that I see that are still being attacked, I cast deflection.
Absolutely.
Is it deflection?
Yeah.
It is deflection that I
Mhm.
have. Yeah, I thought it was barrier. Yeah, so I go around and attempt to cast deflection on as many of them as possible to
Go for it.
just defend them.
More skeletons
Any-
attacking the innkeeper, the tavern keeper, Amari. Attacking her as you rush to her aid. Roll.
Any modifier?
No. It's base modifier is from the spell itself, which is already included.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hey, loading up. Good.
All right. And so as one skeleton's going to grab Omari, you do deflection, and immediately its hand reaches off and misses her. She thanks you and runs off, able to escape. One more success. All right, Mochi, that's on to you now.
Okay, so what I'm trying to think of doing is using stealth to just kind of like quickly get through the area without being directly noticed by these skeletons, and then like being able to push something towards a horde of them to like something like pushing a cart to trample all of them.
Absolutely. On one of these small hills next to the town, or in the town itself, where they have like a giant marketplace, you see a horde of skeletons are moving there, and you can try to get between them without being seen, and then launch that cart into their midst. Give me a stealth roll.
Yeah. Hey.
With the raise! All right. So you rush to them. Wait, tell me. I want everybody to narrate how you successfully do this.
So, Alice kind of like rushes in front of this horde and easily weaves through them without them noticing, them being distracted by the various other terrified villagers running away. He gets up towards where the cart is and gives it the best shove he can possibly muster, and it just kind of like does that cartoon kind of like it floats in the air for a second and then just tramples down on the entire horde of them.
Fantastic.
And you just see bones kind of exploding everywhere.
I love it. All right. End of round 2. We have 11 successes. This is definitely doable.
Yeah, it is doable now. Yeah, I'd forgotten that Atlas hadn't taken a turn yet.
Definitely doable. Although, Haldir, do you want to use your ability or no?
It's no big deal in this.
Okay, Atlas, you're number 1 again.
Oh boy.
If you want to wait, I'll let you wait.
Can I get a description of where things possibly might be happening so I can get an idea of something?
So I imagine we're all kind of near maybe the edge or the middle of town now. Buildings are falling in. People are escaping to the outskirts of the town, towards the kind of like the edge where nothing's falling in anymore. It's kind of like the middle of the town is falling in itself. The skeletons are no longer coming out of the ground, but they're still within the city itself, still attacking people. The mayor's house is still ahead of you, and it's still the mayor is trying to escape with his servant Coleman. And the party is a bit split up right now because they're all kind of doing their own thing. And if anyone has any other details they can put in, go for it. This is more of a narrative time right now for everyone.
I just have to think of how to use certain things.
And you said the 2 tunnels were already sealed. Right?
Yes. So now it's just the lingering skeletons that are above ground already.
Got it.
So not everyone did attack rolls, so some still do attack rolls.
Yeah, I was saving mine for last.
Alex, you want me to skip you for now?
This is gonna be
one question. This might apply to other people too, so I want to ask it first. Sorry to jump in front, but
That's okay.
Can you do multiple actions in this situation?
No.
No. Okay.
One
Well,
action,
then
yeah.
never mind. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
This is
Sorry.
a bit of a cheeky question, but could I potentially use common knowledge of knowing that the skeletons are probably going to go after the highest person in the town, being the mayor, and go over to help him out? Or is that a bit too...
You notice, as you're looking around, trying to formulate a plan, that a orb of red mist is floating above one central skeleton figure that is moving towards the mayor. The same red mist that you encountered in the dwarven settlement that tried to engulf Brewsome. The mayor doesn't see the skeleton approach, him or his assistant, Coleman. So yes, I'll let you do it.
Okay.
Success. Do you want to choose a penny to maybe get a raise?
Yeah, I do want to attempt that.
There we
well.
go! We have 13. 13 successes! Alright, you succeeded. You tell me how you help out the mayor.
I can be sassy.
Yeah.
Ideas. So the skeleton is the mayor's obviously like trying to run away, yes?
Yes. With armfuls of his own treasure.
Of course.
Oh.
So Atlas definitely has a sort of anger towards the mayor for not listening to them. So when he sees this obviously very strong, probably in Atlas's mind, most possessed skeleton going towards the mayor, he kind of scoffs to himself and then starts going towards, like, running over to help him out, despite the fact that he essentially screwed his whole village over. As he's running past him, he kind of puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, "You should have evacuated," and then goes towards the skeleton to just try and, like, attack him the best that he could, even though he knows that it's probably a pretty strong one.
Alright. Begin the action. We'll cut to that a bit later. Vanya,
Yeah.
it's on you.
Well, at this point, Vanya's been, in the context of what she's doing these last 3 rounds, she's managed to get a whole bunch of skeletons drawn towards her specifically rather than the rest of the town. And now she's got to deal with this onrushing horde of skeletons. So she's going to be rolling fighting and just doing her best, just like weaving from skeleton to skeleton, trying to take out as many as possible.
Go for it.
That's the plan. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, how about a 12?
All right.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right, 2 more successes. You went in. You know what? I want to do the narration when you fail, but you do the narration when you succeed.
Phenomenal. Yeah, she's dancing on the heads of the skeletons. She's destroying some with the back of her spear, destroying others with the front of her spear, and swinging her spear around through sheer momentum, because she's not that strong. Swinging her spear around and knocking over big chunks of them as she does. But of course, she's still surrounded by them, and she's absolutely going to die.
Fantastic.
It's the end.
15 successes. Definitely doable. Brewsome, it's on you.
Right. I'm going to assume that the magic battle axe is not going to be considered separate since it's still strength.
Still fighting, yeah.
Yeah, right. Then we'll not bother. Unless... Been looking at my skills, trying to figure out what I can do. You would never guess it.
You do spells, you just get -1 if you know the spell. Plus its built-in penalty.
Please, if you're fighting and shield, let's do. Yeah, we'll use smite of my cut rune magic. Essentially to buff up my great axe and use it to help Vanya out and just mop up a little bit.
All right, go for it. There should be, I think, a -2. Put a -1 to the roll and then click roll smite.
Appreciated. Okay.
That's a failure.
I was going to say, I wouldn't count your
no.
blessings.
Oh well.
Ooh, we never
Okay,
got
yeah,
bennies.
two
All right,
negative
that's a
one.
failure. Haldir and Donsta, it's on you too. We need 2 successes.
Seeing that his efforts so far have been
Oh, real quick, I need to narrate Brewsome's thing. So, Brewsome, you're in the middle of waiting. You're running towards Vanya as she's just demolishing skeletons, as well as looks like the big skeleton is being engaged by Atlas. You run forward and you're ready to do your enchantment on your axe. And as you get there, the ground shakes a little bit, and you stumble and you fall to your knees as the skeleton quickly swipes you across the face, drawing a bit of blood and a bit of lines across your cheek and your mouth. All right, Haldir, now you can go.
Yeah. Seeing that his efforts so far have failed in saving these people, he's going to look down into the crevice where the guy just fell and use an athletics roll to jump down into that hole to save that man
Ooh, okay.
that fell in, because he is tired of failing everything. And I succeed.
It's success. It's success. So as you jump into the hole, oh no, you narrate it. Go narrate it. Like,
Yeah, I just like the frustration building in him from failing. He just tells himself like this is not going to happen as he looks down and sees the guy looking up at him, and then he's just gonna just jump in, go down, reach, grab him, and just throw him up to the ledge, and then just start climbing right up, and then just lift him up, and then push him. And
thank you. And he grabs your hand, pulls you up, and he runs away, leaving for the last round. 16 successes out of 17. Donsta, this is all on you, buddy.
Yeah, don't put
Pressure.
Oh.
Pressure, no pressure.
You just need one success.
He's got no
Yeah.
bennies, so.
Yeah.
I know.
Roll,
This is
roll
why I'm
something
a
good.
little
Is
afraid.
there? Have you done an attribute yet? Maybe you've got a good attribute you can work out.
I was gonna say,
I
just
mean,
go
the
for
only
it.
one that I
But
think I can do right now is fighting, because I haven't done fighting.
You don't have
Oh,
like
okay.
big brain stuff like your spirit or big smarts
Oh,
roll.
that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna take my spear and chunk it at the one skeleton with the red mist.
Hmm.
See if I can either distract him from attacking the mayor.
Right now it's engaged with Atlas. So you want to use strength? Or fighting?
Oh, I thought Atlas was just doing common knowledge.
Well, she got
didn't
common
think
knowledge
she
to
was
get there,
attacking.
to realize what's going on, but then she's also engaged with the skeleton. With that skeleton. Or he is.
Okay, well then I'll just attack that skeleton.
Okay.
Okay.
No pressure, but all the pressure.
Come on, Dasta.
I wouldn't.
One success is all we need. One success. Last roll of this.
If I do a power, it's
that minus
still
2.
just -1, right?
Minus 2,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I will. And for fighting, there's no negatives, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
-2 is a little worse than dropping a die type. So.
Woo!
Yeah.
Tell me how you do it, Dasta.
Ooh.
I
fantastic.
chunked the spear and I wanted to go straight through its head.
It goes straight through its head. The one that I believe Atlas is fighting, the one with the red vest above it, almost like it's a puppet strings on the skeleton. Its head gets split in half. You succeeded the skill challenge. So as all of you are evacuating the town, helping the civilians, the ground shakes one more time as all of you link up in a semicircle ready to face the skeleton that is now stumbling forward. And it speaks through the mist. I will not be vanquished again. It moves forward, ready to expand its influence when the ground explodes as the worm that was under the ground comes up and engulfs the skeleton in one giant bite and then crashes back into the ground. The mist above the skeleton dissipates as its influence disintegrates from the skeleton, and the worm starts to burrow now back to the south, back towards the mountains.
The worm was a good guy.
Well, it was attracted to magic. That skeleton is probably the most magical thing on the field, right?
It was. And now, that skill challenge successfully has been finished. And for succeeding at the skill challenge, I'm going to give everyone a inspiration point for this encounter, for succeeding and accomplishing it. I'll put it on the
Is that
sheet.
like-
So it's an option on the sheet. I'll have to put on later on. But everyone for this encounter will get inspiration. And now all of you can relax. The adrenaline can die down as the ground stops shaking. You look around, and only about a quarter of the town fell into the crevasse or into the caverns, leaving still a big part of the town. Now that the worm is burrowing back to the south, everyone is looking about what to do. The mayor is dumbfounded, looking around. He's looking at all of you, and he is scared to speak from what has just occurred.
Should be.
But that conversation will occur next session, as we're ending the game right here.
Nice.
All of you gain your 3rd advance.
We.
You level it up.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I won't be able to join for a while. I just had some work schedule changes, but I hope to be able to